So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, with a big round of applause, let us welcome our trainer for today, Mr. Avinash Gupta.
Thank you, Rupali ji, for the kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. So, आज चाहिँ हामी अलिकति वर्कसप फर्मेटमा काम गर्नेवाला छौँ. So, and I have a little long content. So, I'll need your attention with me. So, what I will recommend you is the, few of you can move to this table as well. We'll need to work in teams. Uh, so, yeah, your team can one or two people from maybe this table, move in this table, please. Do you all have laptops with you right now? No? No problem. Make sure at least in team there's one or two laptops. Okay. In next 3 to 4 hours, क्या expect करने दो? What is the outcome we are looking for today is we figure out clarity on brand, how to think brand. I know. So digital marketing, sorry. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you how to do digital marketing of your brand, social media marketing कसरी गर्ने, you know. I think there are already one or two experts in this room who can teach you that. Today is all about creating clarity on brand, right? So first of all, I want to congratulate each one of you for joining ScaleUp. I've been following ScaleUp since the ideation stage. Amit is a good friend of mine. Rupali ji working very hard behind the scene. And each one of you, each morning, giving your hours to learn and contribute. So first of all, big hand of applause for each one of you to bring this energy, right? So we'll get more time to learn about each other later in the day. And I want to jump a little bit in the session first. Uh, so you guys are not participating, right? Okay, okay, that's fine. Right, okay. So first of all, I want to quickly deep diving in the topic itself. You know, brand भनेको के हुन्छ? What is brand? हैन, यसमा धेरै डेफिनेसन्सहरू छ, धेरै अप्रोचेसहरू छ, हैन. So what I'm not going to tell you is how Nestle made its brand, how Unilever makes its brands, how Amazon made its brand. There are marketers who complicate brand a lot. Brand भनेको कुरा ओहो यसमा त यस्तो गर्नुपर्छ त्यस्तो गर्नुपर्छ. They confuse hell out of you, right? This is how they speak about brand. Brand is the holistic sum of customers' experience composed of visual, tonal, and behavior brand components, many of which are shaped by interaction design. Don't think brand like this, guys. This is too technical, too complex, and कुनै 100-year-old company या brand को हैन lesson लिएर entrepreneursहरूले आफ्नो brand बनाउन सक्दैन क्या, हैन. So we are not chasing any perfect brand story. We are not chasing perfection. We are chasing a progressive brand approach, a practical brand approach for all entrepreneurs here. So don't think branding like a traditional brand marketers, right? म पनि अलि ट्रेडिसनल मार्केटर पनि होला हैन, but I'm still saying don't think like me, because I'm also an entrepreneur and I suggest keep a entrepreneur's approach to branding. सबैले visual छ हैन, स्क्रिन बीचमा पिलर्सहरु पनि छ. If you want to, anyone wants to adjust, fine, right? You please move to some team, possible छ भने. यहाँ there's a space here. Okay. So this is a Jeff Bezos definition of branding. Branding is what people say about you when you are not in the room. यो चाहिँ मोस्ट प्र्याक्टिकल एक्जाम्पल अफ ब्रान्डिङ हुन्छ क्या, हैन. तपाईको अगाडि त सबैले भन्छ ए तपाई त बवाल हुनुहुन्छ यार, तपाईको त यो खतरा छ, हैन. योर कम्पनी इज अमेजिङ, यु आर अ ग्रेट इम्प्लोयर, हैन. आफ्नै स्टाफले ओ यु आर अ ग्रेट टिम लिडर भनिदिन्छ, हैन. But such, what is the truth? Truth huncha when you are not in the room. That is when you know what is your true branding. So branding is what people say about you when you are not in the room. That is a brand, right? So this is an entrepreneur's approach to branding. आज जुन हामी डिस्कस गर्नेवाला छौँ होइन, you don't need to be, you can be an engineer and still work on branding. You can be uh, working in working in any let's say operations and still think branding. So entrepreneur's approach of branding के हुन्छ भने, ब्रान्डिङ भनेको मार्केटिङ डिपार्टमेन्टले गर्ने काम होइन क्या. यो चाहिँ is the biggest myth buster, and uh, one of the requests of me to understand branding in such a way that suppose you are running a call center, you know, तपाईको एउटा support department छ, and every resolved call with, you know, customers feeling satisfied after is also a branding. Whenever you visit a client, you know, and you serve them in the right way, that is also a branding. Whenever you are preparing any meeting document, होइन, presentation बनाउनु भइरहेछ या कुनै खालको document proposal बनाउनु भइरहेछ, that is also a branding. तपाईले कुनै product बनाउनु भएको छ, त्यसको QA गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ एकदम rigorously, QC गर्नु भइरहेछ, API docs मजाले बनाउनु भइरहेछ हैन, that is also a part of branding. तपाईको फाइनान्स टिमले एकदम टाइमली सेटलमेन्ट गरिरहेछ हैन, तपाईको भेन्डर्सहरू आर एक्सट्रिमली ह्याप्पी विथ यु, तपाईको पार्टनर्सहरूको टाइमली रिकन्सिलिएसन भइरहेछ, द्याट इज अल्सो अ ब्रान्डिङ हैन. तपाईको सिस्टम एकदम सिक्योर छ, रोबोस्ट आर्किटेक्चर छ हैन, तपाईँको एचआर फङ्सन या यु आर अ भेरी गुड इम्प्लोयर, योर टिम इज ह्याप्पी, दे आर स्पिकिङ गुड अबाउट यु वेन यु आर नट अराउन्ड, राइट, द्याट इज अल्सो अ ब्रान्डिङ. तपाईँले मजाको प्रोसेस बनाउनु भएछ कम्पनीमा, नो वान इज कन्फ्युज, एसओपीज आर क्लियर हैन, प्रोसेस आर एज स्मुथ एज इज पोसिबल, द्याट इज अल्सो अ ब्रान्डिङ. तपाईँले रेगुलेटर्स हैन, तपाईँको इन्डस्ट्रीमा डेफिनेटली कुनै न कुनै इन्डस्ट्रीमा रेगुलेटर्स होला, या छैन भने फ्यु रेगुलेटर सबैको हुन्छ, ट्याक्स डिपार्टमेन्ट हुन्छ, कम्पनीज हैन, आरओसीज हुन्छ. सो यु हेभ भेरी गुड रिलेसनसिप विथ योर रेगुलेटर्स, यु आर फलोइङ द रुल्स एन्ड रेगुलेसन अन टाइम, यु आर डुइङ हैन, यु हेभ अ गुड बोर्ड अफ डाइरेक्टर्स, छैन भने बनाउनु होला फ्युचरमा हैन, गुड गभर्नेन्स प्र्याक्टिस गर्नु भइरहेछ भने, द्याट इज अल्सो एन गुड ब्रान्डिङ. सो ब्रान्डिङ इज अ कम्बिनेसन अफ अल दिस थिङ्स. तपाईँले कन्ट्र्याक्ट्स कस्तो बनाउनु भइरहेछ, आर यु किपिङ अप विथ योर प्रोमिसेस, आर यु किपिङ अप हैन, आर यु टाइमली डेलिभरिङ द थिङ्स द्याट यु हेभ थट, all this in the combination is a branding. So marketing department ले के गर्छ त हैन, तपाईको कन्फ्युजन होला नि, यो त ब्रान्डिङ त हामीले मार्केटिङलाई सोचेर थियो, मार्केटिङले गर्छ हैन, यो त हामी सबैले काम दिनु भएछ यहाँ त हैन. So marketing is just a communicator and coordinator of your brand, and whatever we all do in our respective offices in our respective way is basically branding. Does it make sense? हो गयो हैन. मार्केटिङको काम चाहिँ उसलाई प्रपरली कम्युनिकेट गर्ने हो क्या. सो सोसियल मिडिया इज हाउ यु कम्युनिकेट विथ योर अडियन्स हैन, योर इमेल्स, योर वेबसाइट्स आर हाउ यु कम्युनिकेट विथ योर प्रोस्पेक्ट्स, बट everything else what we do contributes towards your brand. So this is the biggest takeaway I'll say is from today's workshop, right? So आजको वर्कसपको फर्मेट कस्तो हुन्छ म अलिकति बुझाउँछु तपाईहरुलाई हैन. So यो अप्रोच, this is not an approach we are taking to brand. हामी चाहिँ अलि डिफरेन्ट अप्रोच अफ ब्रान्ड बनाउने वाला छौं. So we have 8 teams here, 8 or 9, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. हजुर पनि can you join any teams? Your systems are connected with internet सबैको हैन. एउटा स्मल एक्टिभिटी गरौँ हैन. तपाईहरु गुगल स्लाइड चलाउनुहुन्छ, गुगल डक्स, गुगल स्लाइड चलाउनुहुन्छ. Create a Google slide, share with your all team members so that you all can work together. Give your team a name and put that on the title of your slide. ठीक है, since you are in a discussion mode, since you are in discussion mode, everyone, why not, why not, why not do one more thing? एउटा company सोच्नुहोस् क्या. Imagine you guys are in a team of a company, होइन? Think like a company. IT company, hai na? So what you can do is 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 teams, you think of a B2B brand. Think you are a B2B business. And 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 teams think you are B2C business. Okay? So now create what is your company, hai na? Explain your business. 2, 3 lines. But discuss garnus. Take 5 minutes. Discuss what is your company and what is the name of your brand. होइन B2B मा तपाईँले कसरी सोच्नुहोस् भने ओके इट क्यान बी एनिथिङ इमेजिन B2B ब्रान्ड होइन 5 मिनट्स लिनुहोस् डिस्कस गर्नुहोस् एड द्याट इन योर स्लाइड टेक 5 मिनट्स बुझ्नुभयो एउटा कम्पनी सोच्नुहोस् होइन तपाईँहरूले B2C कम्पनी सोच्नुहोस् होइन what does that company do? 2-3 lines लेख्नुहोस् त्यो स्लाइडमा हजुर चाहिँ B2C या डोन्ट थिङ्क योर ओन कम्पनी होइन हामी बायस्ड हुन्छौँ आफ्नै कम्पनीको बारेमा सोच्दाखेरि ऱ्यान्डम कम्पनी सोच्नु द्याट इज हाउ यु क्यान थिङ्क अबाउट दिस कम्पनी जस्ट राइट 2-3 लाइन्स के गर्छ यो कम्पनीले कसलाई बेच्छ के गर्छ के प्रडक्ट छ अलिकति लेख्नुहोस् 3-4 लाइन्स Time's up, guys. It's okay, we'll get more discussion time. आज दिनभरि discuss गर्ने हामीले. We'll get more discussion time. I'm sure by now you know what your company does. That's enough. होइन नाम थाहा छ भने नाम पनि राखिदिनु छैन भने it's okay. You'll get time to figure that out. Okay? Now please pay attention to me, right? I'm just going to tell you the format for today, what we are going to do. Okay? Okay? So, attention to me, guys. Attention to me. You'll get more time to discuss. Trust me. As I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you one framework. त्यो framework ले के गर्छ भने तपाईले ब्रान्डको बारेमा कसरी सोच्ने? How can you think brand? त्यो चाहिँ I'll give you in a maybe in a more easy way that you can consume it better. How many of you watch movies? Then it will be easy. I'm going to give a lot of movies references to you. Then we'll do some practice sessions right now. We'll also ask some of you to present what you have made. So team needs to work together for that. You practice गरेपछि what is my expectation from you is when you go back to your companies and sit with your team, you do these exercises again to take more clarity on your own brand. So, आजको main कुरा के हो भने this framework itself is a takeaway for you. How to think brand, how to create brand around your businesses. And आज चाहिँ few exercises we'll do here, but I expect you to go later and practice them. होइन ब्रान्डमा प्रोग्रेसिभ सोच्नुपर्छ होइन whatever you will do today or whatever discussion you will do with your team later, it need not be perfect, but clarity आउनु पर्यो. And branding को काम चाहिँ प्रोग्रेसिभ हुनु पर्यो. Day 1 मै perfect brand बन्दैन क्या. And don't chase the perfection. होइन सो हामीले प्रोग्रेसिभली ब्रान्ड बनाउनु पर्छ. एन्ड ब्रान्ड बनाउँदाखेरि सबैभन्दा ठुलो प्रब्लम के छ भने हो हामीसँग त बजेटै छैन होइन के गर्ने हामीले एनपिएललाई पनि स्पोन्सर गर्न सक्दैन होइन टिम पनि किन्न सक्दैन क्रिकेटमा त्यस्तो पनि कुरा भन्छ नि मान्छेहरूले. सो ब्रान्डिङमा के वाट वी हेभ टु रिमेम्बर इज बजेट इज जस्ट अ रिसोर्स क्या. अनि त्यस्तो खालको धेरै रिसोर्सेस चाहिन्छ तपाईँलाई. द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट थिङ इज द क्ल्यारिटी. सो आज चाहिँ क्ल्यारिटी लिएर जाने क्या यहाँबाट ब्रान्डिङको बारेमा क्ल्यारिटी. ठिक छ. So let's talk movies for a while, then we'll talk branding. So your framework is based on two fundamental characters. One is the hero and another is the mentor, right? So what kind of hero and what kind of mentor I'll show you. Lion King कतिले हेर्नुभएछ यहाँ? Lion King. Yes? One of my favorites. So what happens in Lion King is, Simba leaves his pride land, and wanders around, have fun, but still confused. And later in his journey, he finds Rafiki, who mentors him to find his lost confidence, lost power, and transform him into a rightful king, right? Such a powerful story, right? Keep that in mind. Another of my favorite movie, Harry Potter fans in the house. Yo, I know. So what happens in Harry Potter? You know, a guy, an ordinary guy, he discovers he's a wizard, and he's mentored by Dumbledore, and he ultimately challenges and transforms into a hero that protects that entire world, right? Such a powerful story. What happens in Matrix? Matrix fans? Okay. I was expecting a full house. Okay, no problem. Matrix एकदम interesting story किन छ भने यहाँ चाहिँ के हुन्छ, the main character Neo is offered two choices. Two pills उसलाई दिन्छ क्या? And while making those choices, he is transformed from an ordinary person to the chosen one, to the one, right? हेर्नुस् यो मुभी हेर्नुभएको छैन भने it's really interesting. And तपाईँले brand framework सिक्नुभयो कि भएन मसँग, I'll know that later, but you'll definitely get a lot of movie recommendations today. Right? So यो सबै स्टोरीमा there is a hero and there is a mentor, right? Now we will create a story where we will find one hero and one mentor. So this story is not about, this story is about our hero. The customer is our hero. The client is our hero. The user is our hero. Right? This story is not about us. It's about our hero. And each one of us will become hero maker today. हामी चाहिँ mentor बन्छौँ for the hero. Our brand should become the mentor of this hero. And this is an age-old technique of storytelling, For thousands of years, stories has combined cultures, societies. So we are going to use this 1,000-old technique to learn about branding. ठीक छ? So I'll give you some examples on how brands have used this and succeeded in this. So Nike and athletes, Nike एकदम famous brand छ, and just how Simba was transformed, Nike positioned itself as mentor of athletes, and it inspires them to overcome obstacles and achieve greatness, just like Simba and Rafiki in Lion King. Agreed? Similar story? There's another similar story of Apple and IT world, or creative. Apple always position itself as a mentor in the tech world that helps you to unleash your creativity and your full potential. Just like how Harry Potter is guided by Dumbledore in Harry Potter, right? You can see the familiarity in these two stories. Clicker, I stopped using. Okay. Another example is of Tesla. Tesla, when electric cars introduced in Western markets, it gave its user a choice. It gave them a new blue pill of electric vehicles, right? So just like Neo is guided towards enlightenment, Tesla empowers customers to embrace innovative technologies, right? So these three movies and three brands have a very familiar way of talking to their heroes, to their audience, right? So similarly, we will use this framework to today work to exercise on branding. Sounds interesting? Clear what I'm trying to do here? Is it clear? Please let me know if it is not. So the customer is the hero and your brand is the guide. This is the template that we are going to follow today. ठीक है? We are not the hero. Eh? Stop thinking us as a hero. Our work is to make sure our hero gets what he wants. Right? So the first part is understanding your hero. You know, some of the heroes are complex, so it takes time to understand. So it's a first part of our workshop today. So who is your hero? Who is your customer? Client को होता भाई को, user को होता भाई को, है ना? यो चाहिँ most important part है figuring out your brand, right? So go back to your Google slide, create a new slide, and do a small exercise. Define your target audience. B2B को case में, think of what will define 500 of your clients. What common characteristics? Demographics हुन सक्छ, nature of business हुन सक्छ, हैन? Their location हुन सक्छ, कुनै pain point या motivation हुन सक्छ, हैन? B2C को basis मा think of 50,000 clients, 50,000 users. B2C को case मा, हैन? Try to create filters, हैन? For example, Nepal को population 3 crore छ भने, how do you narrow down it to 50,000? So, कुनै पनि branding plan गर्दाखेरि, हैन? The narrow the audience is, the more defined the niche is better, is easier to define your brand. So take 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, guys. Take 5 minutes, यहाँ 10 minutes ignore गर्नु है. Take 5 minutes and try to define your audience. Who is your hero? को हो तो hero? है ना? Take 5 minutes. Is it done, guys? Okay, in next 5 minutes, we'll have one more activity and you can still discuss this more with your team member, right? So attention on me, guys. Attention on me, please. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Just few characteristics is enough. धेरै detail में न जानु अहिले. Just try to understand who is your audience. अब product बनाएछौं, company बनाएछौं, कोलाई बेच्ने त त्यति मात्रै figure out गर्नु हैन अहिले. अरु केही चाहिदैन अहिले. So this is the next part. This is the part. Next part. Yeah, this will same topic. Ma. Next part is what does your hero want? Okay. What we figured, who is your hero, right? Now what does your hero want? कसरी सोच्ने त? How does your hero want? Every hero wants something different, right? Have you seen this movie, Ranjana? Yes? So what does the hero want here? Yeah? Okay. And have you seen this movie? What does hero want here? He wants to impress his papa, right? So what does your hero want? What does hero want here? Paisa, right? So every hero wants something. उसको कहीं ना कहीं objective होना चाहिए. So let's think, what does your hero wants, right? This is our next activity. So make a next slide, and before discussion, please hear me out. What I want you to do in this exercise. I know. What is the problem your hero is facing? What needs to be solved, or what will make his or her journey complete or happy? Now, in simple words, write the problem or the need of the customer and do not focus on solution. हामीले solution सोच्ने होइन है अहिले. हामीले अहिलेसम्म के figure out गर्यो? हिरोले के चाहिन्छ त्यति मात्रै figure out गरौँ, अरु केही नगरौँ है. Don't think of solution. Don't make products right now. Just think what your hero wants. You know? What does they want? Do they want paisa? They want heroine? Or they want papa? You know? Think, what does your hero want? Just think that much. It can be just one simple line. Figure it out, take 5 minutes and figure it out. What does your customer want? Don't focus on solution, guys. Again, we'll get time to think about it later. So, customer like system चाहिए. What customer want a product? They don't want you. Don't think your product first. Think problem first. Hello? Done? Very simple thing. Just what they want. यति मात्रै सोच्नुहोस् हैन. I'll give you some examples how it impacts your branding decision. हैन. I'll hear me out, guys. We'll get more time for discussion. How it can help you to get your branding decisions ma how it helps. Do you know Old Spice? Old Spice brand tha cha? Aftershave, very famous brand. Right? So Old Spice is a aftershave. Aftershave बनाउँदाखेरि there is lot of chemistry around, good packaging, right placement, shelf placement. But what is their brand around? हैन? उहाँको ब्रान्डले के भन्छ भने smell confident. Right? They figured out what their customer want. Their customer want to be confident. Their customer want to smell good. And they created entire brand just by figuring out what their customer want, what their hero wants, right? They are not talking about the price here. They are not talking about where you can buy. They are not talking about, let's say, what is the formulation. हैन? के पनि भनिरहेको छैन नि. Smell confident. Because that is what their hero wants, right? So this small exercise can give you a result like this if we exactly know what our hero wants. I know. What does a hero wants here? 1,000 songs in your phone, in your pocket, you know, iPod. But what do you make? Storage for 5 GB of MP3, right? So what they want is different from what they make, what you make. Hero wants is more important to think in this stage. Clear भयो यो कुरा? बुझ्नु भयो यो कुरा? Your product is not 1,000 songs in your pocket. Yeah? Your product is storage for 5 GB of MP3s. But what your hero actually wants is 1,000 songs in your pocket. So, यस्तो गरौँ. Let's do couple of, let's hear out what our friends have made. So, two of the teams will present about their company, their target audience, and what their hero want. Okay? So, we can start from this team. Do you want to come here? Every team will present, by the way. So,
My name is Adarsh. I am from Ayada. हाम्रो कम्पनी हामीले चाहिँ माई मुभमेन्ट भन्ने बनायौँ. अनि माई मुभमेन्ट भनेर चाहिँ एउटा यस्तो खालको प्लेटफर्म हो कि जसले चाहिँ कुनै पनि इभेन्टमा जानुभयो भने चाहिँ त्यो इभेन्टमा खिचेको फोटोहरू चाहिँ अटो सेयर हुन्छ त्यसमा चाहिँ. अनि हाम्रो अडियन्स भनेको चाहिँ वेडिङ प्लानर अनि इभेन्ट कम्पनीज अर्गनाइजर उहाँहरू पनि हुनुभयो. अनि स्केल अप नेपाल पनि भयो. खल्ती पनि भयो, रेस्टुरेन्ट, कलेज अनि ट्रेनिङ इन्स्टिच्युट, फोटोग्राफर अनि भिडियोग्राफरहरू भयो। अनि हाम्रो हिरोले चाहिँ वाट डज हिरो वान्ट्समा चाहिँ लाइक मेन चाहिँ लिड अनि त्यस पछाडि मार्केटिङ। सो दे क्यान जेनेरेट मोर लिड्स अनि त्यस पछाडि आफ्नो ब्रान्डिङ पनि गर्ने भयो। सो माई मुभमेन्ट इज
Okay, this is fantastic work, guys. Did you? I think so. Some of you are still working, but वहाँले एकदम राम्रो क्लियर प्लान के बनाउनु भएछ भने it's a my movement, right?
या
It's a B2B photo sharing product or solution,
चलो
right? And their target audience are wedding planners, event organizers. And what their hero wants is basically using these collaterals as a leads or a discovery platform, right?
या
For leads and discovery platform. Brilliant solution. Well done, guys.
उहाँको आइडिया हो।
Please applaud. Let's hear it out from.
थ्याङ्क यू सर। सो हामी चाहिँ B2Cमा काम गर्दैछौँ एन्ड आई डोन्ट नो हाउ मेनी अफ यु हेभ हर्ड दिस, तर फक्स नट भन्ने एउटा प्रोडक्ट हुन्छ, फक्स नट जसलाई मखाना भन्छ नेपालीमा। एन्ड वी हेभ प्लान टु एक्सट्र्याक्ट र नेपालभरिमा सप्लाई मात्रै नगरेर विदेशमा पनि सप्लाई गर्ने। अनि वाट आवर मेन कस्टमर इज आवर मेन कस्टमर इज मदर्स अफकोर्स, अनि 30 to 45 इयर्सको बिचको कुराहरू, अनि कन्ज्युमर्स चाहिँ ओल्ड एज बेबी हेल्थ जो कन्सियस हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरूले, अनि अथवा जो एकदमै धेरै हेल्थ कन्सियस हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरूले कन्ज्युम गर्नुहुन्छ फक्स नट प्रायः जसो। अनि त्यसपछि हाम्रो वाट हिरो वान्ट्स इज गुड हेल्थ अफकोर्स। अनि यसको मेजर प्रब्लम्सहरू हामीले मार्केटमा के थाहा पाएँ भनेपछि गिल्ट फ्री स्न्याकिङ अहिले कम छ, बट मखाना सल्भ्स इट। अनि कस्ट सेन्सिटिभ पनि छ, सो यु क्यान बाई इन एनी भल्युम यु वान्ट। अनि त्यसपछि धेरै लाइक इट्स अलमोस्ट प्रिजर्भेटिभ फ्री, सो इट्स गुड फर अल पिपल एन्ड अल केसेस। अनि सप्लिमेन्ट्सहरू डिफ्रेन्ट सप्लिमेन्टहरू खाइराख्नु पर्दैन, मखाना मात्रै खाए पनि इट अलमोस्ट fulfill demand. So
Don't think of solution right now.
yes sir, we are just focusing on problems
Okay.
also.
Okay. So very clear plan. You know, makhana, right?
Yes sir.
So guilt-free snacking. So their hero wants guilt-free snacking and also stay healthy, right?
Yes.
And their audience is very clear. Mid-age moms and fitness enthusiasts,
Yes, sir.
right? Very good, very clear. So these are the two plans. Please have a applause, guys, for the effort. So right now we have two brands. I know Duta brand ready with us. With the brands that they know who their hero is and what they want, right? Now the next stage is what will solve your hero's problem. I know. हिरो को प्रब्लम कसरी सल्भ गर्ने त, यो चाहिँ नेक्स्ट स्टेज अफ आवर एक्टिभिटी हो हैन। सो मुभिजमा देयर इज अलवेज अ पोइन्ट व्हेन हिरोज फाइन्ड आउट कि आई विल फिगर माई प्रब्लम्स विल गो अवे इफ आई डू दिस। अब त्यो कसरी गर्ने त्यो थाहा छैन हैन, बट इफ आई डू दिस हैन। सो डिडिएलजीमा के हुन्छ भने राजलाई के थाहा हुन्छ भने if I impress Simran's family, I might have a chance, right? And he follows that plan. Stranger Things हेर्नु भएछ? Any fans of Stranger Things? नयाँ सिजन पनि आएछ हो? So in middle of the season, there is always a point when they find out there is a portal and we need to break that portal. How to break that portal is not the problem right now. You know? Is not what they are thinking. They are just thinking of solution. Right? Avengers fans in the house? Come on, the energy kahan cha? Yes. So what happens in Avenger Endgame, which is basically a two-part story. They find out that if they have the Infinity Stones back, they can revert everything as it is, right? Status quo मा आउनको लागि they need Infinity Stone. अब त्यो कसरी लिएर आउने भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ they are not thinking of it right now. They are not thinking of solution right now. They are not thinking of how right now. They are just thinking that this can be the solution of the problem the world is right now, right? Hangover. They are going through hellish time, right? They have a broken tooth. Someone has a tattoo in wrong place. Someone has a random baby with them. There's a gangster problem. There's a drug problem. No, they are not worried about anything right now. They are just focused on one thing: finding Doug. और कई objective होंगे ना movie को. So they know in halfway in the movie they find out कि if we find Doug, every other problem will be solved. So what is the solution? This is the most important part in this part. So write down what is the solution of your hero's problem. Doesn't mean you have a solution, eh? In simple word, write what will solve the problem your hero is facing, not necessarily that you have the solution. Don't think of solution right now. Don't think that you have to make the solution right now. Just think, yo mero hero, isko yo problem ho, and this can be a potential solution. So what will solve your hero's problem? Just write it down. Don't think too much on कि हामीसँग त्यो solution छ कि छैन. We'll come to that later. You know their problem right now. They want to do guilt-free snacking. They want more leads through photographs. They want to be discovered. So what will solve their problem? Think what will solve their problem. We know their problem by now. What will solve their problem? What is that portal they need to break? What is that infinity stones that they need to gather? Hello? Done? Very simple. Problem already थाहा छ भने solution पनि थाहा हुन्छ क्या हामीलाई त्यही बेला थाहा हुन्छ क्या. So we already know the hero's problem. What is the solution? Very simple solutions हुन्छ नि. Very simple solution. For example, animal को example दियो नि हामीले. He wants to impress Papa. What is the solution? Solve Papa's every problem. That's the solution, right? So we'll move to next round. So what we have figured out right now, who is our hero? What is the problem he's facing? And what is the solution of that problem? 3 steps are done. We are already figured out so many things about our heroes. What does it do? If you had figured out what does your hero want, how it helps brands. Look at this example. So DuckDuckGo भन्ने एउटा search engine छ, right? What they figured out, their heroes don't want their data to be shared with a search engine, right? So just by knowing that, they created a campaign around search anonymously at DuckDuckGo. We don't track you. Others track you, we don't track you. So just by figuring out the solution of that problem, they came up with this campaign, right? सुन्नु भएछ? So तपाईँको competition हैन, healthy snack. So they know their customers are people who want to eat healthy, right? So what they did with their packaging? 12-gram protein bar, 3 egg whites, 6 almonds, 4 cashews, 2 dates, no bullshit, right? Now, they cannot sell it to kid who want to buy gems, right? But the kid is not their hero. Their hero is somewhere working out, trying to be healthy. So because they know their hero, they are very clear how to create packaging for their hero. And packaging is a very important part of branding, right? So just by knowing who your hero is, what is the problem they are facing, and what solution they are looking for, will help you to create branding around that problem, right? So Abhijit, I mean next part ma, we'll move to next part. Next part is, first part was about hero. Hero को बारे में हामीले 3 elements हरू figure out गर्यो हैन. Now part 2 of this is positioning your brand as a guide. Fans of Kung Fu Panda? Yeah? So how to position yourself as a guide in this journey? So very powerful tool for working on positioning is perception mapping, right? So first of all, अहिलेसम्म हामीले we were just thinking about the hero. We were not thinking about our brand. This is the time when we think about our brand. And we will keep in mind what we know about our hero for now, right? So I'm going to tell you a very interesting, a very important tool which many brand managers, even big companies are not using it. It's very effective, very easy to figure out. It's called perception mapping. Perception mapping भनेको के हुन्छ भने, do we have a whiteboard also around? Yeah. Okay. I'm little technologically challenged, but still okay. Okay, so perception mapping भनेको, it's a very powerful tool on how you work on positioning. So, I know, okay. So, it's very simple. You create a quadrant. You have to work on the quadrant. This is your brand quadrant. Your brand comes here. So this quadrant is both positive. This is positive, negative. This is negative, positive. No, sorry, negative, negative. How do you erase it? And this is negative, positive. Oh. Confusing भयो अलिकति. So we have to create a quadrant where only your brand is here, and all your competitor has to be in other quadrants, right? अलिकति अलि technical भयो हैन, but I'll explain you. Think of just 2 features or 2 qualities of your product, your brand, that helps you to differentiate from your competition. So it can be feature 1, and it can be for niche 1. So only your brand should be in this quadrant, and other brand should be in other quadrants. I'll show you how it works. Can we move back to presentation? Yeah, what? Source. So I'll show you some examples. Domino Sugar भन्ने एउटा sugar brand छ, हैन, artificial sweetener छ. So their perception, they are working on taste, more taste, less taste, more natural, less natural. So Domino Sugar ले आफ्नो positioning plan गर्दाखेरि, they thought of 2 things. We have to be more tasty than all our competitors. We have to taste more natural than all our competitors. So Domino Sugar यहाँ आयो, and their competitors were either more natural and less tasty, less natural and less tasty. One more example will make it clear. When Gmail was launched, होइन, Gmail ले launch गर्दाखेरि Outlook was very popular, right? But Outlook was not free back then. So Gmail had lot of features. Storage पनि धेरै थियो त्यसमा, होइन, docsहरू पनि use गर्न मिल्थ्यो. There were lot of features. But when they launched, they just talked about two things. It's free, it's simple. And all other tools were either complex and expensive, complex and free, like Yahoo Mail, and none of them were simple and expensive, right? So it gives Gmail a space to talk about their brand without giving advantage to any of their competitor. Branding को एकदम important कुरा हुन्छ भने when you take a space, when you take a positioning, त्यो position मा there should not be no one else. Only you should be part of that position. I'll show you what happens when the positioning becomes crowded. So this is automobiles को एउटा perception mapping. So Volvo, for example, if Volvo wants to position themselves as comfortable and high performing car, high comfort and high performing car, problem के हुन्छ भने Volvo भन्दा बढी comfort Lexus मा होला, Volvo भन्दा high performance BMW मा होला, Audi मा होला. And के हुन्छ भने people will not buy Volvo, okay, when they talk about comfort and performance, because they are more comfortable and high performing cars in the market. So what does Volvo does in this part is Volvo changes its positioning. They are still high comfort and high performance car, but when they come to the market, they don't talk about these two features. They say we are a safe car. It's highest safety rated car हो world में, है ना? Actually, seatbelt technology was made in their R&D centers, and they made it patent free so that every car brand can use it to make their car safe, right? Why they did that? To work on this thought leadership, to work on this positioning. So they became a safe car for families. So US में क्या होता है? If any couple is expecting a child, you know, they buy Volvo because it's the safest car. If there is a, you know, if there is a school van, it's always Volvo. So that positioning लेके गयो भने यो crowded space छोडेर हैन Volvo लाई एउटा safe space दियो where only Volvo is present in that positioning. Clear भयो यो कुरा? यो चाहिँ तपाईको लागि most important lesson हो के आज. तपाईले जुन पनि बिजनेस गर्नु भइराछ त्यहाँ कहीं न कहीं पोजिशनिङ प्रब्लम हुन्छ के. सो पोजिशनिङ प्रब्लम भयो भने के हुन्छ भने तपाई प्राइस वरमा जानुहुन्छ. तपाईले उसले 10 दिनमा डेलिभर गर्छ म 5 दिनमा डेलिभर गर्छु हैन. यु एन्ड अप फाइटिङ फर रङ थिंग्स दैट impacts your competitiveness in the market. So right positioning, whenever there is a crowded space, you know you have to create a new position, right? For example, when Apple came out as a high performing, high price phone, it stayed in that positioning for a long time. But when Galaxy phone started, and as a high performing, high price phones, they started feeling the competition. Then Apple ले के start गर्यो भने Apple ले start गर्यो कि it's a safest phone, your data is safe, your phone, no one gets to sneak into your phone, you know, it's not open source. It started talking about those things. So whenever the space becomes crowded, it's a time you create a new positioning. And positioning भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ evolving हुनुपर्छ क्या. If you are committing to one positioning right now, maybe you need to be little flexible and change and tweak little bit. So again, now you have to do an exercise. Right? Let's create a perception map. Perception map where your brand is here and no competitors are allowed to stay in this zone. Think of positioning in that way that only you are here. And what will change? Suppose your competitor is, let's say, tobacco competition ma healthy snack ma there is another healthy snack. So you are organic and healthy. Maybe they are not organic and healthy. So you have to think like that. What do you talk about? Then you talk about organic and healthy. You know, so what are the two things you want to talk about and what helps you to stay exclusive in that zone? You know, you exercise here, अब let's start. Create a perception map. In your Google slide, create a perception map. Create quadrant. यो क्वाड्रेन्टमा तपाईँ मात्रै हुनु मिल्छ, अरू मिल्दैन क्या? Draw a perception map. I hope you have developed positioning right now. Bayo, ready, Bayo? So let's pay attention to a screen once. It will give you more examples of how certain brands have used this powerful perception mapping and created their brand. Bewell भन्ने एउटा shaving brand छ हैन US मा. So there is shaving for people of color, right? So they choose African Americans and Latin Americans as a target group. And it was focused on that niche. So shaving, affordable shaving for people of color. And in that positioning, they were only there. And a pilot banne, it's a HRM, payroll management system. It's a payroll management for international employees. So what positioning it gave them? Whenever there is a business that employs people from lot of countries, they think of pilot, right? There's a Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines, it's a very cheap airlines, you know. So a cheap seat for a cheap ass, you know. Simple positioning. You know, Death Wish Coffee, and coffee is a very competitive space. So how they create their positioning is the world's strongest coffee, right? Hinge banne dating apps, you know, a dating app designed to be deleted, you know. So your conversation gets deleted after one conversation once it gets converted, you know. Head and Shoulders shampoo, dandruff-free shampoo. They don't talk about anything else. The chances are that you use Head and Shoulders, your hair also silky, smooth. They don't talk about all that. They just talk about one thing, hair-free shampoo. And in many cases for men, basically, right? So this is what positioning does for a lot of brands. बुझ्नु भयो यसलाई कसरी use गर्ने? So we will do one more exercise and then I'll expect one of the team to present, two of the teams to present before we disperse for breakfast. I don't know. So we go back to the hero again, okay? How can you guide the hero to find the solution? अब एक छिनको लागि हामीले हिरोलाई we forgot about the hero, right? We know who is our hero. We know what is their problem. We know what is the solution. We know our positioning as well, right? Now, how can we help how we can guide our hero to find the solution? This is the part when mentor kicks in. Story ma, there is always a part when mentor kicks in. So how can you guide the hero to find the solution? Have you seen this movie, Kal Ho Na Ho? Yes? So what happens in Kal Ho Na Ho, you know? You cannot solve their problem without feeling their pain. क्या? Pain चाहिँ बुझ्नु पर्छ क्या? हाम्रो हिरोको pain के हो? जबसम्म त्यो थाहा हुँदैन, you don't know why certain character is acting in certain way. You are always confused. So this is one quality of a hero to understand. As a mentor, you need to understand the pain of your hero. So you need empathy, right? as a guide, you need to develop empathy with your hero. And you cannot solve their problem without the authority. जबसम्म तपाईले authority establish गर्नु हुँदैन, hero will not listen to you. Why will he listen to you? Right? There has to be a very particular reason why hero will trust you for the guidance that you will give as a brand to them. Right? So you need to have an authority. So you need a power combination of empathy and authority in this next stage to figure out how you will make hero to take you as a guide for complete their conquest. बुझ्नुभयो कुरा? हिरो को प्रब्लम छ, हैन? हिरो को सल्युसन पनि थाहा छ तपाईलाई. But will hero trust you or not to take you as a mentor to complete their conquest? यो चाहिँ मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा हो. यसको लागि दुईटा कुरा फिगर आउट गर्नुपर्छ तपाईलाई, empathy and authority. I think so. I don't have to explain empathy and authority, right? To you all. Examples through, we will figure it out. So the next activity before we disperse for a break will be around how you empathize with your customer's pain point. Empathy कसरी develop हुन्छ? I'll give you some examples of that, and how you can show them that you are the expert. Your product, your brand, your team is the expert who can solve their problem. If you can just figure out these two things, customer को problem तपाईले बुझ्नु भएछ, हैन? So what is the empathy दिखाउनु पर्छ तपाईले? And second thing is तपाईसँग त्यो authority छ to solve their problem. हैन? I'll give you a very good example, हैन? Suppose तपाईले license बनाउन जानु भएछ, हैन? And you are too confused, हैन? So त्यहाँ चाहिँ एकजना, हैन, there is a agent there, हुन्छ नि passport office, यस अफिसको बाहिर. के भयो दाइ, यो त साह्रै गाह्रो छ नि प्रोसेस भन्छ नि. उसले त्यही एम्फेथाइज गरिसक्यो क्या तपाईँसँग, हैन? ए म त कति पासपोर्ट बनाइसकेछु, म त कतिजनाको लाइसेन्स निकालिदिएछु भन्छ नि फेरि उनीहरूले. उसले आफ्नो अथोरिटी इस्टाब्लिस गर्छ क्या. Just by doing this small pitch, he has established empathy and authority. ए यो त साह्रै गाह्रो रहेछ, ए दिनका दिन लाइन लाग्नुपर्छ सर, एकदम गाह्रो छ, हैन? कस्तो मजाले they will do these two things very easily, right? So this is a skill that you have to do in a structured way, make it part of your brand plan. So empathize with your customer's pain point, let them understand you understand their pain, right? And show them you have expertise to solve their problem. I'll give you a few examples. Okay, wait. So this is a one marketing copy, you know. Fact: women and men shave differently. We shave 10x the area, navigating more curves and angles. Right? Not all razors are created equal. Ours are designed for womankind. So यहाँ के भइरहेछ भने, यहाँ चाहिँ clear empathy छ. Women and men shave differently. We shave more. भनेको the point of view is women's point of view, and it shows empathy. That 10x more area, navigating more curves and angles. Not all razors are created equal. Ours are designed for womankind. There is an authority there. त्यो statement में authority आयो क्या. So empathy and authority, if you can combine these two things together, it can do wonders for your brand. So imagine how good you would be at something if you have done it every day since 1908. भनेको just to show they are 100 years old company, you know, how they have established their authority in a fun way. Imagine how good you would be at something if you have done it every day since 1908. Authority छ त्यहाँ, हैन? And laundry मा त empathy चाहिँदैन क्या. Everyone knows it's difficult, right? Okay, it's only me. So use this two combination We'll take a small break also. We'll take break now. Rupali ji, हमें break early लेने हैं ना? 9? 9. Okay. So do this activity with your breakfast as well. Uh, when we'll back, this should be completed. We'll take a very short break because I have a lot of things to cover. And what I want basically is today to design a takeaway for you guys. एउटा framework तपाईँसँग होस् so that you can go back and do the same exercise with your team members in your respective company. So how you empathize and how you have authority to solve their problem. Just two things, write down in your next slide. And let's meet in 15 minutes. How long is the break? Half an hour? Okay, 20 minutes. So we'll start in 2 minutes. Before this 2 minutes, I hope you have concluded your empathy and your authority. Complete भएको छ यो? छैन भने quickly just take another 2 minutes and conclude it. We have a lot of things to cover. So give finishing touches to your empathy and authority. आँगनको बक्समा के हेर्नुभयो तपाईँले? Empathy, authority हेर्नुभयो? We know you get hungry every day. We make food every day, हैन? Empathy पनि छ, authority पनि छ. So authority भन्ने के हुन्छ? एकचोटि फेरि if you are confused there, हैन? If you have certain expertise, that's authority. If you have X number of years of experience, that's authority. If you are the first, if you are the largest, if you are the best, if you are the fastest, that's authority. If you have some kind of social proof, more than 100,000 users, 50,000 plus happy customers, 10,000 plus problem solved, that's authority. Authority भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ a social proof or an action that tells everyone that you are the one. Why you have to be chosen as a guide. त्यसको एकदम specific reason. हैन? कोहीले भन्छ कि हाम्रो ल्याब्समा hundreds of years of R&D हुन्छ. कोहीले भन्छ कि this is the only product that takes science of Ayurveda and creates these extractions. Lot of things. Authority has to be clear. And if you are in any business, it's because you already have that authority. तपाईले कुनै business startup गर्नुभएछ भने maybe you have certain experience in that. तपाईको expertise छ त्यसमा. तपाईले के crack गर्नुभएछ which others don't know about it. So all those things becomes part of your authority. Clear भयो यो कुरा? Empathy पनि clear भयो तपाईले? Understanding your customer's pain. Letting them know that you know this is the pain point in their business. That is the pain. So I'll move to the next activity and then we'll have a presentation. अब चाहिँ हामीले brand positioning statement बनाउँछौँ एउटा, हैन? This will help everyone. Please pay attention. You're really important concept, China. And so, what do we know about our brand and our customer so far? We know who is our customer. We know their problem. We know what is the solution. We know their pain. We empathize with their pain. We have authority to solve their problem. We have already figured out 2 key features that will help them to establish our authority. Now if you combine all of these, you can create a brand positioning statement. हैन? So तपाईले कोका-कोला को वेबसाइट मा जानु, युनिलिभर को वेबसाइट मा जानु, हैन? तपाईले नेस्ले को वेबसाइट मा जानु, हैन? They have a very clear brand statement, right? So this is one framework, one template that how you can create a brand positioning statement. And remember, this is not a science. Exact formula नहीं use गर्नुपर्छ छैन, हैन? This gives you a framework to work on. तपाईको product, तपाईको industry ले अलि different ask पनि गर्न सक्छ. But 70-80% things can be used from this framework. So use your perception map. Create a statement that includes your brand name, one feature, one niche. rework on the statement to convert it like a brand objective. So I'll show you the framework. This is made by me, so bear with if it is confusing. So for example, your statement can be like this. We help customer niche 1 get solution, which is your product. In, there can be mention of your feature. In this way, so that they don't have to worry. Problem or empathy. यहाँ आउनु पर्यो. And with authority. With so many years of experience. Now every customer niche 1 can be customer objective. Confusing sound कर रहा चाहिए. Don't be confused. I'll give you one example. Give me a product. Let me think of a product. The product I think about most is a shampoo. Okay. So let's think. I'm thinking about Head and Shoulders shampoo. Okay. I'll go back to that shampoo. So if I have to use this framework to create a brand brand positioning statement, then I will create something like this. We help men, customer niche maybe, men get dandruff-free hair through daily wash. Feature 1, easy to cure, no medicines required. Through daily wash, so that they don't have to worry about what is their problem, what does this hero want. They don't worry about wearing black suits. Dandruff might make you worried. Worry about black suits, because no one, don't worry about black suits. Tabaile empathize garnu bhayecha. This is a problem your hero has. You have empathy towards it. With more than 30 million bottles sold every month, authority. Every man can now be customer objective 1, dandruff free and full of confidence. If you'll see, I use this framework to create a brand positioning statement for a shampoo brand, right? So now what I want you to do is, you have all the information of your customer, their problems, you have all the things figured out for your brand, the positioning. Create a brand positioning statement, and I want to see, I want you to figure out. Think of everything. त्यसमा सबै कुरा हाल्नुस्. कस्टमरको निच पनि हाल्नुस्, solution, feature, which is available in your positioning map, problem and empathy that you have already figured out, authority you have already figured out, and last ma, customer objective try to figure out. So if you combine all this, you will have a brand positioning statement. Start your activity now. You have 5 minutes. Ignore 15 minutes. 5 minutes. Very quick discussion garnus. It's not very difficult. If you have figured out all these things, you have to just fill in the blanks now.
Hello, myself Bhushan Giri from Argo Technologies. Actually, we are representing Grower, हाम्रो company को नाम and product name as well Grower, and we are solving the problem of startups because we are 50 companies representing here, so we target these companies to solve the real problem. हाम्रो कम्पनीको नाम ग्रोअर, प्रडक्टको नाम पनि ग्रोअर नै राख्यौँ हामीले, त्यसको डिफ्रेन्ट नाम गरेको छैनौँ. अनि एक्चुअली हाम्रो टार्गेट मार्केट चाहिँ स्टार्टअप र एसएमइज बोथ. हामीले भन्यो अहिले 50 कम्पनी यहीँ हुनुहुन्छ. मेजर टार्गेट चाहिँ हाम्रो स्टार्टअप एन्ड एसएमइज. एक्चुअलमा स्टार्टअप र एसएमइजहरूले कस्तो किसिमको प्रब्लम फेस गरिरहेछन् त भनेर प्रब्लममा जाउँ हामी. हामीले यहीँनिर पनि 3-4 दिनदेखि कुरा गरिरहेको थियौँ कि जेनरली हामी बिजनेसमा फोकस गर्छौँ प्रब्लम सल्भिङमा फोकस गरेर हुन्छौँ, तर ब्याक अफिसमा हाम्रो जति काम गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ त्यो कामहरूमा चाहिँ हाम्रो फोकस भइरहेको हुँदैन। त्यही भएर हाम्रो लिगल पार्ट पनि बिग्रिन्छ, एचआर पार्ट पनि बिग्रिन्छ, फाइनेन्सियल पार्ट पनि बिग्रिन्छ भनेर हामीले 3-4 दिन हामीले डिस्कसन गरिरहेको थियौँ। र त्यो पार्टलाई अटोमेट गर्नको लागि चाहिँ हामीले यो सोल्युसन लिएर आएको छौँ, वान विन्डो सोल्युसन भनेर, ताकि तपाईँ आफ्नो बिजनेसमा फोकस गर्नुहोस् र त्यो ब्याक अफिसको जुन अपरेसनको पार्टहरू हुन्छ त्यो पार्टलाई चाहिँ हामी हेल्प गर्छौँ। हाम्रो कम्पनीलाई चाहिँ हामी किन यहाँनिर पोजिसनिङ गरिरहेछौँ इजी एन्ड अफोर्डेबल, इजिली एक्सेसिबल एन्ड अफोर्डेबल भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो कम्प्लिटली सास प्लेटफर्म हुनेवाला छ। यो मार्केटमा अलमोस्ट देयर इज नो कम्पिटिटर्स, वी आर द फर्स्ट कम्पनी टु प्रोभाइडिङ दिस टाइप्स अफ सोल्युसन इन द मार्केट with the all solution in one window. And easily accessible, completely SaaS and cloud model solution. We are not providing the offline solutions, only SaaS solution, and which is very affordable. And यो पर युजर मोडालिटीमा जानेवाला छ, पर युजर मोडालिटीमा हामी SaaS मोडालिटीमा यसलाई लन्च गर्नेवाला छौँ र त्यसमा चाहिँ तपाईँको एभ्री चिजहरू चाहिँ टेम्प्लेट बेसमा हुनेवाला छ, कम्प्लिटली टेम्प्लेट। जसरी तपाईँले जस्ट इक्जाम्पल हामी लियौँ भने एज अ तपाईँ टेक्निकल पर्सन होइन, तर तपाईँलाई डिजाइन गर्नु छ भने तपाईँ क्यानभा जानुहुन्छ होइन, क्यानभा इज द बेस्ट प्लेटफर्म टु डिजाइन होइन। त्यस्तै गरी चाहिँ तपाईँको ब्याक अफिस अपरेसनको लागि चाहिँ हाम्रो यस्तो किसिमको पर्सेप्सन बनाउनु पर्ने छ कि ब्रान्डमा द ग्रोर इज द ओन्ली वान कम्पनी टु डु अटोमेट अपरेसन आवर ब्याक अफिस होइन। त यसरी चाहिँ हामीले हाम्रो कम्पनीलाई पोजिसनिङ गरेको छौँ। यहीँ राखेका छौँ हामीले ब्रान्ड पोजिसनिङ। त यसमा के छ भन्दाखेरि वी हेल्प स्टार्टअप स्ट्रिमलाइन देयर ब्याक अफिस अपरेसन सो दे डोन्ट निड टु वरी अबाउट देयर डे टु डे वर्क फ्लो विथ आवर एक्सपर्ट लेड सोल्युसन। यसमा मैले जोडिहालेँ मोर देन 15 years अफ एक्सपिरियन्स इन दिस प्लेटफर्म होइन। सो एभ्री स्टार्टअप क्यान ग्रो देयर बिजनेस बाई 3x, किनभने ब्याक अफिसको अपरेसन तपाईँ छोडेर ओन्ली फोकस अन यर बिजनेस हुने बित्तिकै तपाईँको बिजनेस चाहिँ के हुन्छ, मल्टिप्लाई हुन थाल्छ। किन भन्दाखेरि ब्याक अफिसमा हुने म्यानुअल कामलाई अटोमेट गर्दैछौँ, त्यो हुने बित्तिकै तपाईँको इम्प्लोइहरूले चाहिँ सही ट्र्याकमा काम गर्न सक्छन् पछाडि ब्याकमा बसेर, र कुनै पनि इररहरू आउँदैन। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि सबै कामहरू चाहिँ टाइमली हुन्छ र तपाईँले बिजनेसलाई मल्टिप्लाई गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ।
So your statement weighs empathy. There is empathy, so that you don't have to worry about their day-to-day
operation.
So there is a very clear empathy in this. कि this is a pain point of the customers, and यहाँ चाहिँ authority पनि छ, and business को objective client ले के चाहिन्छ, what your client wants, they want to grow their business by 3x. So this is a very good brand positioning statement, very clearly mentioning that whom you're helping to do what, so that they don't have to worry, and what is the expertise you have, and what is the outcome they will get. So it's a very good brand positioning statement. Congratulations, team.
Thank you, sir.
Very good effort. You can take your laptop. हजुर प्लिज। होइन यस्तो छ, तपाईँले एउटा एक्सर्साइज गर्नुभयो होइन, त्यसमा के सोधेको थियो भने वाट योर हिरो वान्ट्स, मेबी हिरो वान्ट्स टु ग्रो देयर बिजनेस बाई 3x, द्याट इज बाई 3x हालेको होला, 5x राख्नु होइन। यस्तो हुन्छ, यु वान्ट टु मल्टिप्लाई द बिजनेस राइट, 5x 3x यो त सबै एउटा मल्टिप्लायर भयो होइन। यु वान्ट टु मल्टिप्लाई योर बिजनेस, द्याट इज कमन होइन। सो एटलिस्ट इफ यु वान्ट टु 5x योर बिजनेस, 3x सम्म त यु क्यान स्टिल ट्रस्ट देम राइट। सो 3x 5x इज जस्ट अ मल्टिप्लायर। यसलाई कसरी ग्रो गर्ने रियलिस्टिक पनि बनाउनुपर्छ क्या तपाईँले कुनै पनि अफरिङ गर्दाखेरि होइन। सो फर इक्जाम्पल इफ समवन इज सेलिङ मी अ हेयर ऑयल एन्ड सेइङ द्याट आई विल ग्रो माई हेयर ब्याक होइन, इट्स अ फल्स प्रमिस। सो वाइल डुइङ ब्रान्ड पोजिसनिङ you don't have to do false promises. Don't make tall claims. Make a realistic claim. Solve their problem. Don't think of creating a false impression. 5x bandagiri, it may not sound realistic also.
But तपाईको यो स्टार्टअप जो भर्खरै बिजनेस गर्दैछ नि त, त्यो केसमा चाहिँ यसलाई कसरी हेर्ने त अब?
होइन, again, this is a objective that they have picked. तपाईले 5x बनाउनु होइन, उहाँले पिक गरेको अब्जेक्टिभ हो।
I mean like गरिसकेको मान्छेले जस्तो फर्स्ट इयर कम्प्लिट गरिसकेको मान्छेले चाहिँ ल कम्पनीजहरूलाई दे नो कि 5x गर्ने 3x गर्ने बेस्ड अन पास्ट पर्फर्मेन्स राइट नाउ आइएम स्टार्टिङ राइट नाउ ल मलाई अहिले नि ब्रान्ड पोजिसन गर्नु छ भने देन कसरी त्यसलाई कसरी गर्ने भन्ने कुरामा छ
होइन यस्तो छ maybe their tool is not for 0 to 1 or you want to answer
3x को एन्सर चाहियो होइन हजुरलाई मैले अघि पनि भने कि 15 इयर्स अफ एक्सपिरियन्सले भने कि हामीले मल्टिपल कम्पनीजहरूलाई थाउजन्ड्स अफ कम्पनीहरूलाई चाहिँ अलरेडी अपलिफ्ट गरिसकेका छौँ उनीहरूको एभरेज रेसियोलाई लिएर 3x भनेको हामीले इफ यु आर डुइङ 5x देन यु डोन्ट निड टु दिस युज टु दिस प्लेटफर्म कि अलरेडी तपाईँले 5x गरि नै रहनु भएको छ 10x गरिरहनु भएको छ भने तपाईँलाई चाहिएन एक्चुअली जसलाई 3x गर्नु छ आफ्नो बिजनेसलाई मल्टिप्लिकेसन त हाम्रो एक्सपर्टिज युज गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ कि एक्चुअलमा त्यो चाहिँ केले भन्दाको भने हाम्रो एक्सपिरियन्स र हाम्रो कस्टमर बेसले बोलेको कुरा हो ठिक छ
we'll move to the next present
हेलो गाइस सो कम्पनीको नाम चाहिँ हामीले एग्री ओजी राखेको छ ओजी भनेको चाहिँ अब द ओजी द्याट टु टाइप्स अफ ओजी एउटा चाहिँ ओरिजिनल ओजी हुनसक्छ अर्को भनेको चाहिँ वे द बेस्ट भन्ने हुनसक्छ होइन सो एग्री ओजीको कन्सेप्ट चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ वी इट एभ्री डे बट आर वी केयरफुल इनफ द्याट कि हामीले अर्ग्यानिक प्रड्युस नै खाइरहेछौँ भन्ने कुरा बिकज वाट वी इट वाट वी बिकम भन्छ नि होइन वी बिकम भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ वाट वी इटले डिफाइन गर्ने जुन एउटा मोटो छ त्यसलाई चाहिँ एक्सेसिबल बनाउनको लागि चाहिँ वेभ क्रिएटेड दिस बट द्याट्स द एन्ड युजर हाम्रो एन्ड युजर चाहिँ त्यो हुन्छ भने हाम्रो चाहिँ रियल क्लाइन्ट भनेको चाहिँ B2B बिजनेस हो यो चाहिँ सो वी प्रोभाइड जस्तो हाम्रो कम्पनीको मोटो चाहिँ के भने B2B सप्लायर हो विच सप्लाइज अल द अर्ग्यानिक एग्रिकल्चरल प्रड्युसहरू टु कम्पनीज अल ओभर नेपाल हो होइन जसमा चाहिँ डिफ्रेन्ट ठाउँको डिफ्रेन्ट स्पेसल प्रड्युसहरू तर अर्ग्यानिक प्रड्युस चाहिँ प्रोभाइड गर्ने हाम्रो उद्देश्य हो सो यसमा चाहिँ यु क्यान सी अल द प्रड्युसहरू जुम्लाको स्याउर होला दाङको सिङ्के होला स्याङ्जाको सुन्तला यसो गर्दा देयर आर लट्स अफ प्रड्युस अर्ग्यानिक प्रड्युसहरू विच वी आर नट एबल टु गेट इट जस्तो बिजनेसेसले पाएन भने त हामीले घरमा पनि खान पाउँदैन नि त होइन सो बिजनेसहरूलाई प्रोभाइड गर्ने इनेबल गर्ने चाहिँ हाम्रो उद्देश्य हो रेस्टुरेन्ट्सहरू या सो हाम्रो टार्गेट अडियन्सहरू के हुनसक्छ भन्दा चाहिँ जहाँबाट हामीले रेगुलरली किन्छौँ होइन रेगुलरली किन्ने ठाउँहरू जस्तो डिपार्टमेन्ट स्टोर्सहरू भयो बिग मार्ट भाटुपिटी एन्ड द लट अफ अदर स्टोर्सहरू एट द सेम टाइम रेस्टुरेन्ट्स एन्ड होटल्स जहाँ चाहिँ डिफ्रेन्ट काइन्ड्स अफ प्रड्युस द्याट रेस्टुरेन्ट निड्स जस्तो मुस्ताङ आलु भन्यो सो वी हेभ दिस पर्सेप्सन मुस्ताङ आलु एन्ड वी अलवेज क्वेसन कि मुस्ताङ आलुको मुस्ताङबाटै हो त भन्दाखेरि राइट सो त्यो नपाउँदै गर्दाखेरि वी आर डिसएपोइन्टेड बिकज द्याट्स नट द ट्रुथ होइन द्याट दे डोन्ट सेल मुस्ताङ आलु फर रियल राइट सो यस्तै गरेर फ्याक्ट्रिजहरू भयो किनकि जस्तो अस्ति हामीले तपाईँको यो फ्रेन्च फ्राइजवाला कम्पनी 300 crores वी स द्याट त्यस्तै खालका अरू फ्याक्ट्रिजहरू पनि हुनसक्छन् जसले चाहिँ अकबरी खुर्सानीको अचार बनाउने फ्याक्ट्रिजहरू होला सो लोकल प्रड्युस भयो भने दे विल बी एबल टु गेट अर्ग्यानिक अर्ग्यानिक प्रड्युस भनौँ न सो इ कमर्स प्लेटफर्म्सहरू होला अनि होलसेल्स डिस्ट्रिब्युटर्स एन्ड रिटेलर्सहरू भयो सो दिज आर आवर टार्गेट अडियन्स सो वाट इज आवर कस्टमर वान्ट भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ इट्स भेरी क्लिन एन्ड सिम्पल होइन सो फ्रेस क्लिन प्रड्युस हो टाइमली डेलिभरी हो बिकज द्याट्स अ रियल बोटल नै कहिले अनि अथेन्टिसिटी हो लेभलिङ अफ द प्रड्युस कि यस वाट एभर वी सेल वाट एभर द प्रड्युस द्याट वी सेल टु आवर क्लाइन्ट इज अथेन्टिकेटेड चेक बाई अस होइन अर्को भनेको चाहिँ रिजनेबल प्राइसिङ अफकोर्स होलसेलिङ हो यो रिजनेबल प्राइसिङ त हुनु पऱ्यो द्याट्स द की सो सोल्युसन टु द प्रब्लम के हुनसक्छ भन्दा चाहिँ राइट भेन्डर्स अक्रस द कन्ट्री होइन किनकि इट इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट हामीले चाहिँ जस्तो देयर आर लट अफ कम्पनीजहरू नेपालमा जुन चाहिँ विच सप्लाइज मैले आई वाज रिसर्चिङ देयर आर सो मेनी कम्पनीज सेल अर्ग्यानिक भनेर बट दे आर नट अर्ग्यानिक किनकि कतिलाई त म आफै चिन्छु कि एन्ड आई नो देयर इज रियल स्टोरी राइट सो अथेन्टिकेसन नै छैन सो अथेन्टिकेसन किन छैन भन्दा चाहिँ उनीहरूको पेन पोइन्ट चाहिँ यही थियो क्या वी हेभ भेरी लाइक हामी त्यो गाउँमा गएर अर्ग्यानिक प्रड्युस ठुलो बिग लेभलको गर्न सक्ने फिगर आउटै गर्न सक्दैन सो द्याट वाज द प्रब्लम सो राइट भेन्डर्स खोज्नु इज हाम्रो हुन्छ नि सोल्युसन टु द प्रब्लम हो सो अ सिस्टम द्याट चेक्स द अथेन्टिसिटी अफ द प्रड्युस बिकज द्याट्स अनदर मेन स्टेटमेन्ट द्याट वी वान showcase here, right? At the same time, टाइमली डेलिभर त भन्यो त्यसको लागि चाहिँ अब फाइनेन्स लजिक सिस्टम हुनु पऱ्यो होइन त्यसको बिट्विन भेन्डर्स एन्ड द एन्ड बिजनेसेस त्यो चाहिँ हाम्रो एउटा कोर कम्पिटेन्सिस मध्येमा रहन्छ गोइङ फरवर्ड सो पर्सेप्सन म्यापमा चाहिँ सो यदि कुरा गर्दै गर्दै यो कुड सेन्स कि हाम्रो आफूलाई पोजिसन भनेको चाहिँ हाइली अथेन्टिक एट द सेम टाइम एकदम फास्ट डेलिभरीमा चाहिँ वे पोजिसन आवर सेल्फ बिकज द्याट्स द कि अहिलेको लागि सो एम्पथी एन्ड अथोरिटीमा सो एम्पथी आई डोन्ट नो इफ your statement is empathetic or not, but let me read it out. So enabling restaurants to serve authentic Mustang Aloo to their customers.
Empathy empathy can be, we know organic produce are difficult to find.
Yeah,
You can start a statement from that
we know. Okay.
and it makes sense after that.
Okay. So अर्को चाहिँ we bring local produce of the best quality in time for you to provide the best service to your customer. त्यो चाहिँ अर्को भयो. So our authority यसमा भनेको चाहिँ we make organic produce checked and delivered timely.
Again, यो अलि vague authority भयो क्या.
Okay.
Vague किन भयो भने if organic food छ भने in many countries have organic को mark हुन्छ या कुनै testings हुन्छ कुनै labs हुन्छ.
True.
So if you are so authentic, you have to get it lab tested and have some kind of, recommended by this, the only brand with UNESCO FSCCI approved organic produce, some kind of, this authority established garcha kya. You cannot be your own authority. Their authority could have been, the only कुनै खालको certification हुन सक्छ in terms of organic या हुन्छ नि कुनै हाई प्रोफाइल अर्ग्यानिक भोइसको की ओपिनियन लिडरले ब्याक गरेको हुनुपर्छ त्यसले चाहिँ हैन
Okay, sure. We'll definitely look into that.
क्रिएट गर्छ.
So we'll have
So
to.
many brand don't have authority and that is why they hire brand ambassador like Amitabh Bachchan. हैन चावलको ब्रान्ड छ खासै अथोरिटी एस्टाब्लिश गर्ने ठाउँ छैन. So that is why they need Virat Kohli. And Amitabh Bachchan, Rajesh Hamal. So these are the reasons why certain kind of brand ambassadors are picked because naturally authority established bhayeko chaina. So they do inorganically, they establish authority because you are startups. You have a very natural inclination towards, you are not me too product. You have certain kind of differentiation. That is why you don't need those kind of brand ambassadors or those kind of marketing. So some certification, something can be an authority.
Okay. So our team, we need to work on this, eh? Okay, so brand positioning statement based on the structure that we provided. यसको बेसिसमा चाहिँ we help businesses get fresh and authentic produce in time so that they don't need to worry about authenticity of the produce. With our seamless platform, every businesses can receive OG agriculture produce from all over Nepal.
Good statement, complete statement. Obviously, isma you can add little bit more empathy towards it. That it's difficult to find. Your neighborhood vegetable seller says they are organic, but do you know they are? Question statement hona sakcha ki. So you can be creative in your brand positioning statement. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you guys for listening to me.
It's not that difficult, guys. If you have to make brand positioning statement, if you ask a big agency to create that for you, they will charge lakhs of rupees. You have just did it in 2 hours. So it's not that difficult. But perfecting it takes years. And as you are progressing in your business, तपाईले business पनि त improve गर्दै जानु भइराछ नि आफ्नो. Brand लाई पनि improve गर्दै जानुस् क्या. So don't make perfect brand and imperfect business. Progress both things together, right? So now we will move to the third part of this framework, and this part is about the hero's journey. हामीलाई हिरो सो हिरोज जर्नी भन्ने कुरा के हो भने इट्स अ भेरी ओल्ड टेम्प्लेट अफ स्टोरी टेलिङ जति पनि मुभिजहरू हुन्छ जहाँ चाहिँ हिरो इज द सेन्ट्रल फिगर दे अलवेज फलो अ टेम्प्लेट कल्ड हिरोज जर्नी एन्ड यु क्यान सी द्याट इन मेबी लर्ड अफ द रिङ्स होइन स्टार वार्स लट अफ वेयर सुपर हिरोज या फ्यान्टेसिजहरूमा पनि हिरोज जर्नी चाहिँ टेम्प्लेट युज हुन्छै हुन्छ क्या लाइक वेयर इट इज सुपरम्यान you know, like Spider-Man, they use this journey. For example, this is an iconic scene of Spider-Man. You know, when Peter Parker discovers that he's no longer an ordinary geek he's not getting enough attention from his love interest in high school. Now he has powers. His journey has transformed. There's a twist in this story, right? He had a very ordinary life. He was living with his uncle and aunt, always missing school buses, and have no interest, has no attention from Mary Jane, bullied in school, right? But now he has power. Something happened in this story. And your part is when brand enters the customer's life. You know? So mentor ko entry usually happens in this part. So this is the usual template of hero's journey. If you guys are fond of story writing or some kind of writing my interest छ भने someday I would like to do a workshop on writing where I will tell you all these elements that how you can use in your storytelling. But today we are using this framework to write about the brands. So if you'll see in many stories life starts from ordinary life, routine huncha, some call to adventure huncha, then some call of denial huncha, then something happens, they meet the mentor. Spider-Man ma ke huncha? He gets the power and he starts doing the adventure, wrestling khelcha, tyo khelcha, हैन, and then something happens, you know, Uncle Ben gets killed, but before he gets killed he does a very important mentor work to Peter Parker, that with big powers come big responsibilities. And his life changes. And यहाँ चाहिँ story act 2 मा गइरहेछ. And then the new cycle of storytelling starts and it ends at the act 3. So similarly तपाईको हिरोको जुन story छ हैन, तपाईको customer who is your hero, it needs to be changed once they meet you, right? When they meet their mentor, there has to be drift in their story. It should move towards the end, towards their end goal, right? So, because we have less time right now, I'm going to rush through this part of brand so that we can complete the framework in such a way it gives you a complete closure. So I'm going to tell you how to figure out hero's journey and how to use hero's journey and customer journey map parallelly to get the result out of it. So हाम्रो hero journey को लागि we need to figure out our customer को journey and touch points. यसमा few points म quickly भनिदिन्छु. It's very easy to exercises that you can do back in your office, and we will skip this part to practice here and we'll do it later. Customer journey भनेको के हुन्छ भने before customer discovers you until they consume your product, services and takes your services, that complete cycle is called customer journey, right? तपाईले अनलाइन केही बेच्नु हुन्छ भने धेरै कुरा हुन्छ नि, कस्टमर जर्नी डिफिकल्ट भयो, यहाँ टु मेनी क्लिक्स भयो, या तपाईले कुनै B2B क्लाइन्टलाई भेट्नुहुन्छ भने दे इज अलवेज थिङ्क अबाउट कस्टमर जर्नी. सो कस्टमर जर्नी ठुलो जर्नी हुन्छ एन्ड इट्स डिभाइडेड इन्टु मल्टिपल टच पोइन्ट्स, राइट? सो एभ्रिथिङ इज अ टच पोइन्ट. फर इक्जाम्पल तपाईँले फेसबुकमा एउटा एड राख्नुभयो, द्याट एड इज अ टच पोइन्ट. कस्टमर लाइक द्याट एड, उसले त्यहाँ क्लिक गरेर तपाईँको वेबसाइटमा जानुभयो, वेबसाइट इज अनदर टच पोइन्ट. तपाईँको ल्यान्डिङ पेजमा उसले कुनै अफरिङ हेरेछ, That is also a touch point. त्यो टच पोइन्टलाई क्लिक गरेपछि उसलाई एउटा नम्बर पाएछ, त्यसमा कल गरेछ. कल गर्दाखेरि एउटा थ्याङ्क यू फर कलिङ, यर कल इज इम्पोर्टेन्ट टु अस, होइन यस्तो खालको केही आएछ. द्याट इज अल्सो अनदर टच पोइन्ट. देन कल उठाएपछि यु आर अन दि अदर साइड. थ्याङ्क यू फर कलिङ, वी रियली एप्रिसिएट यर कल, टेल मी हाउ आई क्यान हेल्प यू. होइन तपाईँले त्यहाँ बेला पिच गर्नुहुन्छ. होइन लेट्स डु वान थिङ, लेट मी सेन्ड यु अ स्याम्पल अफ आवर प्रडक्ट एन्ड इफ यु लाइक इट वी क्यान डिस्कस मोर. तपाईँले स्याम्पल पठाउनु भयो. That is another touch point. When the sample is opened, that is another touch point. Sample खोलेपछि suppose it was a tea bag. He had the tea. And त्यहाँ चाहिँ if you like it, you can order more. भनेर QR छ. And it takes it to दराजको page, let's say. That's another touch point. दराजको store तपाईँले कस्तो बनाउनु भएछ, प्रडक्टको राइट पिक्चर्स छ कि छैन. That's another touch point. So everything is a touch point, right? And in every touch point, तपाईँले तपाईँको ब्रान्डको लागि जुन ब्रान्ड स्टेटमेन्ट बनाउनु भएछ, that has to be strongly put in each touch point, right? So touch point, there are different kind of touch points. One is physical touch points. Physical touch points are when there is a physical interface between you and your client. तपाईँको स्टोर छ भने that is a physical touch point. तपाईँको कहीँ एक्जिबिसन गर्नु भइरहेछ होइन, द्याट इज अ फिजिकल टच पोइन्ट. कहीँ गएर तपाईँले प्रेजेन्टेसन दिनु भइरहेछ तपाईँको प्रडक्टको, द्याट इज अ फिजिकल टच पोइन्ट. सो देयर यु हेभ टु आइडेन्टिफाई वाट आर द फिजिकल टच पोइन्ट्स इन यर बिजनेसेस. इफ यु थिङ्क क्विकली यु विल फाइन्ड आउट देयर आर 10-12 टच पोइन्ट्स द्याट आर इन यर बिजनेसेस. देन यु हेभ टु आइडेन्टिफाई डिजिटल टच पोइन्ट्स. डिजिटल टच पोइन्ट्स के हुन्छ, तपाईँको सोसियल मिडिया होला, तपाईँको वेबसाइट होला, तपाईँको अनलाइन स्टोर होला, तपाईँको कल सेन्टर होला, होइन कल गर्ने ठाउँहरू होला. सो दोज थिङ्स आर यर डिजिटल टच पोइन्ट्स. नाउ वाट यु हेभ टु डु वेन यु डु दिस एक्सर्साइज ब्याक इन यर अफिस, you have to again divide those touch points into 3 different categories. Which are the touch points which you own? Own बनेको तपाईको आफ्नै हो. For example, if you have your own showroom, that's your owned space. But let's say तपाईले बिग मार्टमा गएर प्रोडक्ट्स राख्नु भएछ भने त्यो ओन्ड होइन, त्यो अर्न्ड होला होइन. And if you have paid for it, then it becomes paid touch point. So this help you to, what you own is called own touch point, what you pay for is called paid touch point, and things which are neither owned and not paid, they are called earned touch point. Earned touch points कस्तो हुन्छ भने, कोहीले suppose I am talking to a friend and he mentions, hey, have you tasted this coffee? This is a brilliant blend, you know, right roast. That is a earned touch point. No one asked him to say that to me, right? There are similarly earned touch point धेरै हुन्छ हैन. For example, I'm speaking here and maybe I'm talking about my work at Khalti. So that's an earned touch point for Khalti, right? So you divide your physical and digital into earned, owned and paid touch points. And then there is a customer journey. You alikati complex, so I'm rushing it. We will go into detail it later if we have an opportunity, or I'll send this material to you so that you can go through it. So there is a customer journey ke huncha bhane, it starts from awareness and ends at advocacy, right? So tapaile, you have to create a customer journey map like this, consisting of all your physical touch point and physical touch point, digital and physical touch point. And kun touch point paid ho, kun chai earned ho, kun chai tapaiko paid, earned and owned. You can write here. And in each touch point, you have to make sure the brand positioning statement jun cha tapaiko, it's reflecting. Suppose you say you are a fast. तपाईले भन्नुभयो we are fast and reliable, let's say. And तपाईको call center मा 20 minutes waiting छ भने you are not fast. You are lying to yourself. And you improve that touch point. You make it quick, right? तपाईँले भन्नुभयो you are accessible, but you don't have a website. It means तपाईँले brand statement मा जुन कुरा भन्नुभएछ, you are not practicing it. So in each touch point, make sure your brand statement is rightly placed. यो चाहिँ one of the most overlooked part of branding हुन्छ हैन. हामीले एडमा एकदम फ्यान्सी हैन लाइक 5-star होटल जस्तो फिल हुन्छ, and when you go inside it's a disastrous hotel, right? And it's not a good branding. That ad was misleading. And if you don't, your hotel is not so fancy looking, you can always say कि यहाँ homely environment छ, affordable छ. Don't say we are fancy. You can say so many other things. You are affordable. You have the right kind of food. Our chef cooks like your mom. You know, you can talk like that. So this exercise will help you to put your brand statement, your positioning in each of the touch point. And many of these touch point, at least 50% of those touch points are not paid touch points. So tapaile, you don't have to spend a lot to do your branding right. You have to keep. So तपाईले के गर्नुभयो, तपाईँ पुरै कस्टमर जर्नीलाई एकदम सानो सानो ग्रानुलर पार्ट्समा डिवाइड गर्नुभएछ. इच टच पोइन्टलाई डिवाइड गर्नुभएछ. एन्ड इच टच पोइन्टमा तपाईँको ब्रान्ड प्रमिस, तपाईँको ब्रान्डको पोजिसनिङ यु आर ट्राइङ टु प्लेस. सो प्लिज डु दिस एक्सर्साइज विथ योर टिम. इट्स भेरी एफिसियन्ट, भेरी इफेक्टिभ एन्ड भेरी के कुरा इम्प्रुभ गर्ने कुरा चाहिँ यहाँबाट थाहा हुन्छ क्या हामीलाई. तपाईँले ल यो सोरुम त रिवर्क गर्नुपर्छ हैन. वी आर सेइङ we are pet friendly, but there is no place to take your pet with. You are saying you are kids friendly, but there is no place to engage kids. So when you say something in your brand statement, you go back and work in your each touch point and improve it. Does it make sense? Have you done something like that? तपाईले unintentionally, without thinking of branding, तपाईले यो गर्नुभएछ तपाईको बिजनेसमा क्या. तपाईले यो कुरा मिलाउनु भएछ तपाईको बिजनेसमा. But now, because you have this framework, go back, do this practice with your colleagues and figure it out. It's very interesting and gives you a lot of tasks to improve. I'll move to the next topic. Clear? Is my key question, sir? Please.
Thank you. टच पोइन्टहरुले चाहिँ रिपिटेटिभ पनि हुन सक्छ हैन.
For example, वेबसाइट तपाईले एड्स को लागि पनि युज गर्नु भइराछ र रिपिटिङ कस्टमर को लागि पनि युज गर्नु भइराछ. सो इट क्यान बी युज्ड इन अवेरनेस स्टेज अल्सो, इट क्यान बी युज्ड एट कन्सिडरेसन स्टेज अल्सो. बट व्हाट यू क्यान डू इज यू क्यान क्रिएट 2 ल्यान्डिङ पेजेस. वन, इनअर्ग्यानिकली भिजिट हुने वेबसाइट. फर इक्जाम्पल तपाईले एड्स थ्रु आएको ल्यान्डिङ पेज डिफ्रेन्ट बनाउन सक्नुहुन्छ. And organically customerले search engine बाट तपाईले खोज्नु भइराछ भने you can create a different landing page, but there can be a repetition of touch point. But you have to think कि how you can tweak it. For example, तपाईको showroom छ, let's say in Darbar Marg, and you have put a big billboard that you get the best, most affordable gadgets here. Now कोहीले त त्यहाँ डिस्कभर गरे तपाईको स्टोरमा आएको होला. Someone might have come by reading about it in the newspaper. So each touch point, how, if you're talking about the same thing, then when they come to your showroom, they will feel relevant. They will feel that you are talking about the same thing that you have promised in other touch point. Any other question regarding this? Because I've rushed through it. Kei kura confusion cha bhane, I can clear it out. No? Makes sense? This is very important exercise. You have to do it with your colleagues, right? So I'll move to the next topic, which is customer journey map. Is another activity that I had planned, but we'll do it some other time if time allows. I'll give you some example how brands have used this customer journey to improve their branding. DoubleTree by Hilton is a hotel chain, very famous. So they are very much known for their cookies. But the story of why they are famous for cookies has a different background. के छ भने होटलमा के हुन्छ भने द वर्स्ट पार्ट अफ एक्सपिरियन्स इन होटल इज when you go to the hotel and you want to check in, right? And they say it will take 2 hours for your room to be ready. And for that 2 hours, you have literally nothing to do, right? So what they figured out that to make that time good, we'll serve them free cookies in this wait time. So what they did is every single guests are given warm chocolate chip cookie. 75,000 are given out each day, and out of which 34% of those guests tell their friends, and 25,000 stories been told every single day about their cookies. So उनीहरूले आफ्नो एउटा प्रब्लमलाई अपर्च्युनिटीमा कन्भर्ट गर्यो क्या, and their lobby always smells like a fresh cookie. It's you are so tempting and you forget that you are waiting there for 1 hour 2 hour, you forget about that. सो उसले के गर्यो आफ्नो कस्टमर जर्नीमा एउटा अनअभोइडेबल कुरालाई अपर्च्युनिटीमा कन्भर्ट गर्यो क्या, एन्ड इट क्यान चेन्ज इन्टु मार्केटिङ. अनदर प्लेस वी हिट वेटिङ इज रेस्टुरेन्ट्स, राइट? वी वान्ट आवर फुड टु कम फ्रेश अल्सो बट should not take much time also. So what this restaurant at California did was, while you wait your order, the waiters there, they come to your table and play cards with you. And while they play cards with you, if you draw a joker, your food is free. Now, why this is a brilliant marketing is, what is the probability of getting a joker? 1 out of 54? If there is more than one. 53 is the right answer. 1 out of 53? That means less than 2% chances of someone getting a free food. Restaurants in average gives 8% to 10% discounts, right? So it's cheaper than that. And people are always, whoever wins, they put it on social media, I got a free food. So free publicity. And they changed, उहाँले आफ्नो टच पोइन्टलाई अप्टिमाइज गरेर they created one more reason for customer to be engaged also, and at the same time enjoy also. So branding done right. So this is how you can work on your each customer journey. Each customer journey engaging नहीं हुनुपर्छ भन्ने छैन हैन. For example, London has one of the busiest airport in the world, and what they did was each time when you deboard the plane, it takes a long time to wait for your luggage. So उहाँले जब नयाँ टर्मिनल डिजाइन गर्नुभयो हैन, they created त्यो passage so long rather than straight that it takes 30 minutes to reach to the luggage counter. And by the time you reach there, your luggage is already there. Oh my God, London airport is so amazing. You get your luggage as soon as you reach there, right? So customer journey map helps you to figure out how to deliver your promise and be true to your brand. So यस्तो खालको small hacks गरेर you can design your customer experiences. So we'll move to the next plan. We'll go back to our hero's journey. So by now we know who is our hero. We know their problem. We know what will solve their problem. We have already figured out our product. We have already figured out our features, brand positioning. We have developed empathy for our customer, our hero. We have developed authority to solve their problem. Now it is time to give them a clear call to action, clear plan to give to your customer. यो चाहिँ एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट पार्ट हो क्या. समटाइम्स यु हेभ द राइट प्रडक्ट, यु हेभ फिगर्ड आउट एभ्रिथिङ क्या, बट तपाईँले त्यो कस्टमरलाई हाउ टु टेल हिम द्याट यु आर द वान फर हिम, होइन? त्यो प्लान कसरी बनाउने? सो यु हेभ टु क्रिएट अ क्लियर प्लान फर कल टु एक्सन फर योर हिरो, होइन? सो फर इक्जाम्पल राज फिगर्ड आउट कि सिमरनलाई अब होइन सिमरनसँग बिहे गर्नु छ भने आई हेभ टु इम्प्रेस हर फ्यामिली. अब प्लान चाहिँ आउनु पर्यो क्या, कि अमरीश पुरीसँग गएर होइन आऊ आऊ गर्नु पर्यो, होइन? उसको ममसँग डान्स गर्नु पर्यो, उसको होइन उसको फियांसेसँग गएर हन्टिङ गर्नु पर्यो होइन. सो he figured out everything. So that was his plan. So this is a time of the story when you work, you give plan to your hero. So plan कस्तो बनाउने त होइन. Have you seen this movie Welcome? हो. So Welcome मा हिरोको स्टेट के हुन्छ फर्स्ट हाफमा होइन. He is confused, he is all over the place होइन. He has a gangster problem, he has a love problem, he has a family problem. Problem छ क्या. But there is a moment in his story when hero gets a plan क्या कि if I engage Majnu bhai and what was he? Shetty bhai होइन. If I engage Majnu bhai and Shetty bhai होइन, my thing will be sorted होइन. And त्यो plan आए बित्तिकै he has command in that story, right? So your hero needs a clear plan to get what he wants, right? Make sense? The moment होइन दंगल हेर्नु भएछ आमिर खानको, he has such a clarity of plan क्या कि my daughters have to win medals for this country. Now he doesn't bother him कि उहाँको कपाल छोटो काटिदिनु पर्यो कि नॉनवेज खिलाउनु पर्छ कि स्विमिङ गराउनु पर्छ कि, doesn't matter to him. Clear plan to action छ क्या उहाँसँग. And now we have to design clear plan to action for our heroes. So how do you design a clear plan to action? Yeah. So next activity is draft a 3-step plan for your customer. Now why 3? इसको so यसमा पनि एउटा स्टोरी टेलिङकै एउटा फर्मुला मैले हालेको छु क्या. 3 is a magic number in storytelling. Any movie you watch होइन, हिरोले दुईचोटि हिरोइनलाई अप्रोच गर्छ होइन, both times he get rejected, but third times he succeeds होइन. त्यो there is always 3 times होइन. Because why 3 is a magic number is because once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, and third is when you believe that this has come through something, and fourth के हुन्छ भने fourth is too many. So that is why you stick to 3. So in a Batman movie, when Batman tries to escape the well, yeah sir, have you seen Dark Knight? Yeah, he fails 2 times, and third time is when he win over. So 3 is a magic number. Another thing is when you add more than 3 steps in your sales pitch, in your call to action, attention चाहिँ गइहाल्छ क्या. यो गर्नुस्, यो गर्नुस्, यो गर्नुस्, यो गर्नुस्, then you will get this. If you say that, it's people will think it's too much work. Do this, buy now. 3 step. 4th step भए बित्तिकै the interest decreases by 75%. Has to be 3 step. Short. So create a 3-step plan with clear call to action. And I'll give you some examples. It's a toilet paper company. You know? Stop wiping with trees. Buy 100% recycled toilet paper. Switch now. 3rd step is always call to action. So you have to just pick 2 steps and call to action. So draft a 3 steps call to action. 3 step भित्र तपाईको call to actions complete गर्नु. 3rd step लाई clear call to action, call to buy, call to engage दिनुस्. Clear भयो यो कुरा? Your 5 minutes starts now. Very important step है. Marketing, branding मा के हुन्छ भने we fail to ask them to engage with us. We fail to ask. हामीसँग सबै कुरा figured छ, but we are shy about it. Doesn't work. Give them 3-step plan. Ready, sir? Let's hear 1 or 2 plans.
Our three-step plan is step one, looking for faster delivery. Step one is, are you looking for faster delivery? Are you wondering about cheaper service? Then book now our service.
This even better is cheaper and faster लाई एउटै में राख्न मिल्छ क्या? And you could have talked about one more thing, maybe.
Yeah.
So sometimes के हुन्छ 3 step हुँदाखेरि हैन, like feature लाई दुईटा feature लाई नराख्नु हैन, maybe feature हुन सक्छ what it will bring an experience न हुन सक्थ्यो हैन त्यस्तो खालको, but good attempt. First drafts are not perfect, guys, so don't worry about making it perfect. Yeah. Let's hear your plan.
हाम्रो प्लान चाहिँ फर्स्टमा चाहिँ हाम्रो सिआरएम सफ्टवेयर हो फर स्मल टु मिड साइज बिजनेसेस. अब यसमा हाम्रो कल टु के अरे क्लियर कल टु एक्सन इन 3 स्टेप चाहिँ ह्याभिङ ट्रबल म्यानेजिङ यर कस्टमर डेटा, गेट यर टिम एन्ड कस्टमर मोर अर्गनाइज, स्टार्ट स्केलिङ विथ स्केलअप. हाम्रो फेरिको सिआरएमको नाम चाहिँ स्केलअप सिआरएम हो. सो कल टु एक्सन इज स्टार्ट स्केलिङ विथ स्केलअप.
This is a perfect way to plan, you know. So what you are doing, what you will solve, and then clear call to action. So perfectly written 3-step plan. Yes, sir. Please.
Our photo just occupying storage on your server, spending thousands on lead collection. Photos is the new currency. Book a demo now.
Well written call to action, but sounds like 4 steps. Try to make it 3. 4 by बित्तिकै it's too many things to hear क्या, like तपाईसँग धेरै attention span छैन क्या, तपाईको customer को attention span is very limited. So live just 3 steps. Think 4 step is like second page of Google search. Nobody goes there.
Okay. I'm making it very short. No? First sentence would be sell with confidence. Okay. Second would be we ensure certified and fast delivery. Third matching try our free samples today.
So even though there is a clear call to action and plan, तपाईको product यसमा आएन क्या, because I know your product is produced. अरे कहीं ना कहीं आउँथ्यो हैन. So product चाहिँ missing भयो क्या तपाईको 3 step मा.
Sell with confidence अनि कम्मा it's all organic भनेर थप्न खोजेको थिएँ मैले चाहिँ.
Okay. Okay.
किनकि we are selling organic produce नि त.
Oh. So they sell with confidence कहीं चाहिँ naturally fit भएन. Again, this is the first draft. You have opportunity to improve it. Anyone else want to?
Hello. So since our product line is supporting the young businesses, so we have three line process. So the starting would be, hey, struggling with the back office operations workflows, we handle the busy work for you, so you can focus on scaling your business. Claim your 14-day trial period. Thank you.
Clear call to action, sir. जहाँ statement is big, you can always take some help. You can ask any agency to make it shorter for you. You can use an AI, generative AI to make it shorter. Crisp बनाउनु is important, है ना? And don't feel shy away from using generative AIs and all after doing your first draft. You know? So there are only 2 kind of people in the future, guys. AI users and AI losers. Don't be AI losers. So now you have 3-step action plan. Now we go to the next step of using a story brand framework. using the F word, right? Now I know what you have in your mind. This F word is little different. Using failure as a fuel. You say एकदम important brand positioning tool हो है ना? Using failure as a tool. In the storytelling, because you are using brand storing framework, in this framework you have to understand storytelling mein there is always a part where a sign of failure is shown, and that is very important in building the characters, building the your hero's character, right? And as a guide you need to understand what failure feels like to the hero. So have you seen Three Idiots? This scene is clearly a sign of failure, right? Raju giving it up, throwing himself from the window, right? So sometimes hero needs to know what failure feels like. Nothing motivates like failure. Have you seen this movie Chak De? Right? So त्यहाँ चाहिँ उसले के गर्यो? Failure as a fuel. Failure लाई as a fuel use गरेर he motivated himself and he tried to achieve something which he couldn't achieve, with Indian women national team, right? So as a brand managers, as a entrepreneurs, because we know what hero wants, we should know what will happen when he fails in getting what he wants. यो चाहिँ very important part of figuring out your brand. So what will happen if your hero fails? What will happen if like someone who has not used Head and Shoulders shampoo and still has dandruff? What will happen? Maybe low in confidence हुन्छ होला. X deodorant use गरेन भने के हुन्छ त? The angels won't fall on them. So what will happen if hero fails? So तपाईँको B2B solutions of CRM छ. What will happen if they fail to manage their contacts well? What will happen if they are spending more time in doing small chores which you want to help with? What will happen when a restaurant which claims that sells organic food doesn't have access to organic produce? What happens? This is the important part. So take 5 minutes and figure out what is a failure feels like. What will happen if your hero fails? Customer fail भयो भने के हुन्छ? I'll give you some examples. It will help you to how brands have used failure as a fuel. Do you know the brand called Snickers? Snickers को ad हेर्नु भएछ? They know that people changes when they are hungry, right? And they have always used that as a fuel. Sneakers use hunger as a fuel to sell its product. So this is a very important part of brand understanding of using failure as a fuel. So there is a very famous Indian company called Policy Bazaar, and only an Ulu won't compare on Policy Bazaar. Right? So using failure as a fuel, because this gentleman failed, he has become Ulu. So failure is a very important part. I mean, like, we need to figure out what happens when hero fails. So take 5 minutes, write down what will happen if your hero fails. It is a very important step in story brand framework. Okay, you part भयो, everyone? Did you write failure? What will happen when hero fails? Your customer will fail. त्यो केसमा के हुन्छ? Have you written it down? Okay, now that is the negative side of it, right? The most negative spectrum, failure. Now let's make a contrast of that. So you know how to use failures also in your marketing copies, brand copies. Now let's create an extreme end of that. What is cast a vision of success? What will happen when hero will win? What is the end game? what is the end of the story? Hero wants something, you help them to find that thing. त्यो भएपछि के हुन्छ त? What is the sound of success? Right? So, I'm coming back to Batman movie. Do you remember this part in the Batman movie? You know, this is the ending, where Bruce Wayne is doing well. भन्ने कुरा उसलाई थाहा भयो क्या यो यति सिनले हैन. So this was the sign of success in that story, right? This was sign of success in DDLG. You know, this was the sign of success. You know, victory is the sweetest medicine. The adrenal rush, the happiness, the satisfaction, त्यो सबै इमोसनलाई कन्फाइन गरेर you need to draft what will happen when your hero gets the success. So तपाईले failure as a fuel use गर्नुभयो. On the extreme contrast, success as a sign of success के हुन्छ? What is the picture of success? Draw that, or write down 2-3 lines. What will happen when hero gets what he wants? त्यसपछिको के हुन्छ? For example, I want to be dandruff free. I use the shampoo. I got what I want, but what is the picture of success? I can wear a black suit with confidence, right? So what is that sign of success? What is that picture of success? Draw that, make that. Yes.
मैले यो प्र्याक्टिस एक्टिभिटी हुनुभन्दा अगाडि सानो क्वेसन राख्छु होइन. जस्तै यो मैले यो चिजलाई चाहिँ सक्सेस अथवा फेलर भन्ने चिजलाई चाहिँ अघि इम्प्याथीसँग कोरिलेट गरिरहेको थिएँ खासमा होइन. यो सबै चिज चाहिँ B2Cमा चाहिँ मान्छेको इमोसनसँग जोडिनु चाहिँ एकदमै सजिलो हुन्छ होइन. तर B2Bमा जाने बित्तिकै के त्यो B2Bको कुनै एउटा कम्पोनेन्ट कुनै एउटा मान्छेलाई समात्नु पऱ्यो होइन. जस्तो मैले साइबर सेक्युरिटी प्रोडक्ट गरिरहेको छु भने त्यो भन्नाले साइबर त्यो नेटवर्क सेक्युरिटीको मान्छेलाई चाहिँ के प्रब्लम हुनसक्छ भनेर मान्छेलाई समात्नु पऱ्यो नि त इमोसनसँग खेल्नलाई त. यो B2Bमा चाहिँ यो इम्प्याथी अथवा सक्सेस फेलरलाई चाहिँ कसरी तपाईँले?
You are right in that way, but if network engineer fails, doesn't business fail? So pain point is तपाईको B2B कस्टमरकै पेन पोइन्ट हो, बट तपाईको टच पोइन्ट त्यो कम्पनीमा कुन को छ भने नेटवर्क इन्जिनियर इज योर टच पोइन्ट क्या. सो तपाईको टच पोइन्टको पेन पोइन्ट हैन. तपाईले अकाउन्ट CRM बनाउनु भइराछ भने तपाईले त HR ले गएर पिच गर्नु हुँदैन. तपाईले HR IMS बनाउनु भइराछ भने you are not going to pitch it to maybe the brand manager of that company. So obviously the empathy you have to develop
to individual,
not individual but the function of that company, त्यो, and that can be CEO also. तपाईले अब network engineer भन्नु भइराछ, but that might be a problem of CEO also. CEO wants to figure it out for its.
सर भने यो इमोसन जोड्ने कुरा चाहिँ कुनै इन्स्टिट्युसनसँग भन्दा पनि इन्डिभिजुअलसँग बढी सजिलो हुन्छ स्टोरी बिल्ड गर्ने भन्ने चिज त.
Absolutely, you can pick it like that. सजिलो त्यहाँबाट हुन्छ, but if your customer is B2B को कुनै युनिट छ भने think that unit, think that person, think that function. कि एउटा HR को पेन पोइन्ट के हुन्छ, एउटा नेटवर्क इन्जिनियर को पेन पोइन्ट के हुन्छ.
भने मान्छे लेस कनेक्ट हुन्छ नि त. जस्तो ल लेट्स से उहाँहरूले भन्नुभएको त्यो ग्रोवर भन्ने प्रोडक्ट गरिरहनु भएको छ उहाँले अघिको इक्जाम्पल दिनुभएको त्यो केसमा. त्यहाँनिर चाहिँ त्यो फाउन्डर फेल भयो भन्ने चिज चाहिँ फाउन्डरको जर्नी इन्डिभिजुअलसँगै जोडिनु पऱ्यो नि त स्टोरी बिल्डअप गर्नलाई त भन्ने चिजमा चाहिँ हजुरले.
फाउन्डर नि फेल हुनु पर्दैन
अथवा उसको 3 टाइम सक्सेस 3 टाइम ग्रो हुनु भन्ने चिजलाई भनिरहेछ नि उनले.
र फाउन्डर फेल हुने इज टु डिफरेन्ट थिङ्स है. बिकज सिन्स इच वान अफ यु आर फाउन्डर्स, भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट टु नो होइन. बिजनेस फेलिङ एन्ड फाउन्डर फेलिङ इज नट द सेम थिङ फर्स्ट अफ अल होइन. सो
थ्याङ्क यू.
I understand what you are pointing towards, but how you have to think about it is तपाईको कस्टमर को त्यो कम्पनीमा त there is some function that is using. You have to empathize with that function at large, and if you are targeting an industry, त्यो इन्डस्ट्री प्लस द्याट कस्टमर सेटलाई सोचेर तपाईँले इम्पथी, इमोसन, फेलियर, सक्सेस, यु हेभ टु ड्राफ्ट इट एज पर योर कस्टमर, राइट? So by now you know what is a failure like and what is a success, right? Let's hear it out. तपाईले के लेख्नु भएछ तपाईहरुले? Who wants to start? Yeah.
We just wrote a small
Yeah.
sentence, one line. Build trust with every order. That's it. Did we get it right? No.
Now explain failure and success.
Okay.
So
So failure was.
it's a good positioning. Build trust with every order.
Okay. So what will happen if the hero fails? So for this again we have one sentence. Don't let your consumers question your credibility.
Excellent. So when you question the trust and credibility, your business is already in selling mode rather than, but brand mode. Excellent. And success?
Success is build trust with every order.
Okay. Good. That's a good placement. Failure is people questioning your credibility. Success is every order brings more trust. So well done, guys. Anyone else?
फेलियर चाहिँ लेख्नु भएको छैन किनभने हामी फेलै हुँदैनौँ है. सो रिचमा सक्सेसमा चाहिँ मास रिच विथ सेम रिसोर्सेस भनेर लेख्नु भएको छ. सो फेलियर चाहिँ छैन. कहाँ छ फेरि?
So guys, if failure doesn't exist, then your product is not required in the market. If in absence of your product, if failure doesn't exist, then don't make your product. So you have to think failure and success both. Then only your product will say that you can fail. That's why you need to use our product to get this picture of success. This is how this will move. Yeah.
So additional resources for the same lead. अनि photos will be just occupy space. धेरै स्पेसहरू occupy हुन्छ. अनि lose competitive advantage अनि weak sales pipeline.
Okay. Too many भयो हैन? And many of them was problem statement rather than failure. So failure can be हैन? Why spend more for same leads? हुन सक्छ कि या why to worry about storage when you have to worry about sales? So think of failure. Don't think of problem statement. Okay. It's like rework करना पड़ता है. But good attempt, guys.
हाम्रो फेलियर्स भन्ने हो पहिला फेलियर्स हो. सो यसमा चाहिँ दुई तिनवटा हामीले सोचेका छौँ फिगर आउट गर्न बाँकी छ. एउटा चाहिँ 5 PM जेरो काउन्टेड लिड्स, त्यो चाहिँ फेलियर होला. सो म्यानुअली गरिराख्दा सिआरएम युज नगर्दा हुने कुरा. अब त्यो फेलियरको रिजल्टलाई चाहिँ हामीले स्ट्रेस, फ्रस्ट्रेसन एन्ड बर्नआउट भनेर पनि राखेका छौँ. सो त्यो दुइटामा एउटा हुनसक्छ भन्ने कुरा भयो. अनि त्यसपछि
So you can combine it and create it, and burning out because of no leads till 5 PM. Like you can combine it like this.
अनि यो सक्सेस हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ अचिभ मेजरेबल ग्रोथ एन्ड ह्याप्पियर कस्टमर्स एन्ड कम्प्लिट कन्फिडेन्स द्याट देयर बिजनेस इज रनिङ स्मुथली एन्ड स्केलिङ फास्टर भनेर राखेको छ. सो मेन चाहिँ स्केल गर्नको लागि र अलिकति म्यानेज अर्गनाइज वेल म्यानेज होस् भन्ने नै कुरा हो सिआरएमको. सो उनीहरूको लागि सक्सेस भनेको चाहिँ हामीले एउटा इमेज पनि बनाएको थियो यहाँ. त्यो च्याट जिपिटीबाट बनायो. ठिक छ. जस्ट एकदम रिल्याक्स वेमा मजाले कम्पनी ग्रो भइरहेको देखियोस् भन्ने कुरा हो. यो चाहिँ भिजिबल हुँदा अझै क्लियर हुन्छ होला.
So I'll give you another movie example.
Okay.
सूर्यवंशममा जसरी हिरा बस चलाउँदा चलाउँदा सक्सेसफुल पिक्चर अफ सक्सेस.
Sir.
Yeah. Yes.
सर हाम्रो पनि फेलियर र सक्सेसको स्टोरी छ सर. वाट इफ हिरो फेल्स, हाम्रो चाहिँ एक सर्ट लाइन, वान सेन्टेन्स छ. वाट इफ हिरो फेल्स, यसमा चाहिँ दे ओन्ली फिड बट नट नरिस देयर सराउन्डिङ्स अथवा लभ बिङ्स. दे आर फिडिङ बट नट नरिसिङ.
Okay.
अनि वाट इफ हिरो सक्सेस, अब हिरो बिकम्स अ पार्ट अफ अ हेल्दी कम्युनिटी and our hero saves money by not purchasing the unnecessary things.
Okay. So you can use the same draft and make it little better, something like this. Feeding and not nourishing, it's a failure era.
Yes, sir.
And saving money while giving organic, something like that can be a sign of success. Sign of success can be, you are targeting young mothers, for example.
Yes,
Sign
sir.
of success can be around seeing your kid grow with the right nourishment, can be a picture of success. So picture of success, aligati more persona driven bhayo bhane, it's better to tapaile improve garcha त्यसको pitch becomes better.
Thank you, sir.
And anyone else want to?
वाट इफ हिरो फेल्स फर असमा के छ भने, हाम्रो सबभन्दा पहिले हामी एउटा गाडीको कम्पनी छौँ होइन. त्यसमा अब हाम्रो हिरो फेल भयो भने के आउन सक्छ भने एउटा हाई मेन्टेनेन्स कस्ट आउन सक्छ सर. त्यसपछि रेन्ज एनेक्सिटी एन्ड रिलायबिलिटी कन्सर्न्स, अनि कम्प्रोमाइज कम्फर्ट एन्ड प्र्याक्टिकलिटी. इफ हिरो सक्सेस, रिलायबल रेन्ज एन्ड पर्फर्मेन्स, कम्फर्ट एन्ड प्र्याक्टिकलिटी, a strong safety and dependability, positive ownership experience. If hero success.
Okay. Now you convert the positive ownership experience into more in hero's life. Hero ले कहिले पनि सोच्दैन ओहो आज त मलाई positive ownership experience चाहिन्छ. Nobody thinks like that. This is how we think as a business, right? So उसले के सोच्छ भने I worry less about my car and more about my family. So something that is a big sign of success. That car is my member of family or something like that. So, so think of it. Picture of success doesn't mean what you are trying to solve. It means what hero is going to feel success. उसको life में success के हो? त्यो चाहिँ important हो. So you have अलिकति त्यसलाई ड्रिफ्ट गर्नुभयो भने त्यो क्लियर हुन्छ हैन. पोजिटिभ ओनरशिप एक्सपिरियन्स इज टु मच लाइक मैले फर्स्ट इक्जाम्पल दिएको थिएँ नि अफ हाउ मार्केटर्स थिङ्क अबाउट ब्रान्डिङ, त्यस्तो भयो त्यो. बट इट क्यान बी वान अफ द अब्जेक्टिभ्स, बट साइन अफ सक्सेस हुन सक्दैन. बट गुड अटेम्प्ट गाइज, एभ्री वान. अप्लज टु एभ्री वान. यस.
ओके, सो हाम्रो हिरो फेल हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ 5 PM 0 काउन्टेड लिड्स विच स्ट्रेस, फ्रस्ट्रेसन एन्ड बर्नआउट भयो. अनि त्यसपछि सक्सेसमा चाहिँ 5 PM लिड्स काउन्टेड, पाइपलाइन फुल, स्ट्रेस गन, ग्रोथ अन. यो गर्न मिल्छ?
Yes, absolutely मिल्छ. So you see lot of marketing copies that shows before and after. And before is usually failure and after is success. There is always Dettol को ad हुन्छ where one soap has so many germs and Dettol has one tiny germs, right? So that's failure, the contrast. So तपाईले picture of contrast becomes a very important element while creating a brand statements, brand policy. So guys, आज चाहिँ धेरै movies को stories को discussion भयो हैन. Now how it will help in your branding? तपाईको brand management में यो कसरी help गर्छ? How it will help you? So I will try to consolidate that for you in next 10-15 minutes, and then in next 10-15 minutes we can have questions, we can discuss, we can take some feedbacks, right? So this is a part when we try to connect everything, that what we have done so far and how it helps in your brand. तपाईँले फर्स्ट एक्टिभिटी के गर्नुभयो त्यो? यु नो योर हिरो, तपाईँको हिरो को भन्ने कुरा फिगर आउट गर्नुभयो थियो. त्यो भनेको के हो? यु आइडेन्टिफाइड योर टार्गेट अडियन्स. नाउ टार्गेट अडियन्स ब्रान्डिङको लागि वान अफ द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा हो होइन. के कुरा कोलाई बेच्ने कसरी भन्ने चाहिँ मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा भयो नि हाम्रो लागि त. सो टार्गेट अडियन्स तपाईँले बाई डुइङ द्याट एक्टिभिटी यु फिगर आउट योर टार्गेट अडियन्स. You can do an additional activity or optional activity. You can create a detailed user persona, especially B2B मा जुन तपाईले भन्नु भइरहेको थियो user persona ले त्यो एलिमेन्ट्सहरु क्रिएट गर्न हेल्प गर्छ. You need more detailed understanding, but you can look up into user persona for more B2B thing. So by just doing know your hero, you have identified your users, your target audience. By knowing what your hero needs, you have understood users motivation, your customers motivation, partners motivation, clients motivation. You can change it. We at Khalti end up saying user a lot, so don't mind that. So by knowing what your customer needs, you have understood user ko motivation. You can additionally do an empathy mapping, and you can get more details of your customer. That's an additional exercise that you can do. By knowing, तपाईले फेरि perception map बनाउनु भयो थियो. त्यहाँबाट तपाईले के figure out गर्नुभयो भने, you know the perception you are building. And if you add a formula of creating your mission and vision statements, you can clearly create a perception map. Perception map, even big brands, very scaled up brands ले पनि properly create गरेको हुँदैन. They are in confused state. कहिले चाहिँ speed को कुरा गरिदिन्छ, कहिले चाहिँ reliability को कुरा गरिदिन्छ हैन. They are not clear in their positioning. So by doing this activity, you have created your perception map. By knowing who is your, how you can position yourself as a mentor for the hero, तपाईले पोजिशनिङ फिगर आउट गर्नुभएको छ क्या. पोजिशनिङ भनेको एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा हो हैन. फर इक्जाम्पल व्हेन यु मुभ इन अ लेन इन अ भाटबेटेनी और अ बिग मार्ट, यु फिगर देयर माइट बी मोर देन 20 काइन्ड्स अफ प्रोडक्ट इन द सेम कैटेगरी हैन. देयर माइट बी लेट्स से a toothpaste that has salt, toothpaste that has charcoal. There might be toothpaste that is for sensitive tooth. There might be a toothpaste for something else. So each brand le positioning ma work gareko cha. And because you have done this activity, you know how you can position yourself as a mentor. You have already you have created a brand positioning statement. You clearly know how to position your brand in the market. त्यसले के गर्छ भने तपाईको बिजनेसलाई तपाईको टार्गेट अडियन्स उसको मोटिवेसन युज गरेर पर्सेप्सन म्याप गरेर पोजिसनिङ फिगर आउट गर्ने चाहिँ तपाईले फिगर आउट गर्न हेल्प गरेको छ. नेक्स्ट स्टेप के भएको छ भने यु हेभ डिजाइन्ड अ क्लियर कल टु एक्सन इन 3 स्टेप्स. जस्ट इन 3 स्टेप्स यु हेभ टोल्ड योर टार्गेट अडियन्स दैट हाउ यु कैन हेल्प देम टु अचिभ देयर गोल्स, राइट? You have already created a conversion plan. That conversion plan can be added with funnel based call to action. You can create each funnel ma kun call to action rakhne, how to position it, and you have a full fledged marketing plan ready if you do that. We discussed about hero's journey, and त्यहाँबाट हामीले customer journey map को discussion गरेको थियो हैन. Through customer journey map, you have a detailed understanding of each touch point. Your customer touch your business. Your customer interacts with your business. Your customer interacts with your brand. तपाईले each touch point लाई additionally optimize गरिदिनु भयो भने, improve गरिदिनु भयो भने, you have a full-fledged customer journey optimized plan, which is very important element of branding. Then तपाईले के गर्नु भएको छ भने you know what happens when hero fails. You already know what happens when hero fails. With doing that activity, you have already understood what is the biggest fear in your users, customers, clients fear. उसको fear थाहा छ भने तपाईले त्यो fear लाई inject गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ हैन. अब कोहीले पेट्रोल गाडी बेचिरहेछ हैन, आइस गाडी बेचिरहेछ, हाइवेमै तपाईको पेट्रोल चार्ज सक्यो भने के हुन्छ EV को? That is, they already have a range anxiety EV चलाउनेलाई, and that is the moment you use fear हैन, fear as a fuel. So तपाईले कस्टमरको fear थाहा छ भने तपाईले strong positioning गर्ने opportunity त्यहीबाट पाइहाल्छ क्या. And last is, you know what success looks like for your hero. You already have that picture in your mind. त्यो हुँदाखेरि के छ भने the end goal तपाईले थाहा छ, customer को end goal के हो. Guys, if 3-4 hours of exercise can give you so many things about your brand, यति clarity तपाईले दिन सक्छ भने, imagine what you can achieve by progressively working on each of them, improving them, and creating a kick-ass brand that will help you to scale, that will help you to take your business to new heights, that will bring you closer to your customers, that will help you to bring all stakeholders under one roof. That is what good brand does. You know, stakeholder baneko not only internal stakeholders but also external stakeholders. Everyone believes in that brand. Everyone knows what it promises, right? So this is how an entrepreneur thinks about branding. This is how I want each one of you to go back to your respective offices, do these exercises with your team, bring this clarity. And this is, trust me, this is half day, one day you dedicate with your team, you work out everything. If you figure out these things, this will give you clarity, this will give you a plan, this will give you a brand that you will be proud of. I didn't tell you brand में color कसरी choose करने, design कसरी बनाउने, logo कसरी बनाउने, brand को size कति ठुलो हुनुपर्छ, packaging कसरी बनाउने. खासमा brand तो त्यसलाई भन्थ्यो नि पहिला त. Those things को लागि there are services available. There are people who has developed those expertise. Now you know how to make briefs for them. This is my target audience and this is the conversion plan I'm looking for. This is how I want to optimize my pre-sales journey. This is how I want to optimize my post-sales journey. This is how I want my digital touch points to look. This is how I want my physical touch points to feel. This is a consistency I'm looking throughout my entire brand journey. This is what an entrepreneur's approach to brand is, right? So this is what I wish I work, every one of you work towards. That what people say about you when you are not in the room. This is the end of my presentation, and we can have a quick questions, feedbacks, and anything which confused you or you want to deep dive in those things.
Sir.
Yeah.
सुरुमै माइक यतै आयो. सर, मार्केट एकदमै फ्रेजाइल हुन्छ अनि स्टार्टअप्सहरूले धेरै मिहिनेत गरेर बल्ल तल एउटा ब्रान्ड बनाएको हुन्छ होइन, अनि समडे ऱ्यान्डम स्ट्रम कम अनि त्यो ब्रान्ड नेगेटिभतिर डिक्लाइन भइदिन्छ अनि त्यसपछि फेरि एउटा मार्केटमा सेम ब्रान्ड एस्टाब्लिस गर्नलाई हजुरको के सजेसन्सहरू छ सर?
यस्तो हुन्छ. That's a very good question. Brand बनाउने हुँदैन, brand manage गर्न भन्छौँ क्या, brand management भन्छौँ नि यसलाई.
Yes.
It's called for a reason क्या. Brand always has a cycle. It always have a up cycle. It might have a down cycle also. Down cycle सबै ब्रान्डमा आउँछ. Now नयाँ ब्रान्ड बनाउनु हुँदैन क्या, मेरो सजेसन छ. नयाँ ब्रान्ड इज एक्सट्रिम स्टेप when you don't have you can't work with the elements that you have in the picture. You go back to this and see how can you because your brand कहाँ खराब भएको छ, पोजिसनिङमा खराब भएछ. If competition has come and told ki in your positioning I am a better brand, then you rework on your positioning. तपाईको conversion plan बिग्रेको छ. You work here. You think there is a new audience that you need to sell this product to, नया market में जानुपर्छ, then you change your target audience. If you think your user has now moved on and they need a new motivation, you figure that motivation and create the entire plan accordingly. So don't worry about down cycle. Down cycle पछि के गर्ने? Is there an opportunity to bring it back or you need to create a diversion? त्यो चाहिँ हजुरले गर्नुपर्छ. ब्रान्ड अथेन्टिक छ, तपाईले अर्ग्यानिकली यसरी बनाउनु भएछ भने those down cycles can be tackled through by sometimes seeking help of good PR, good customer service, honesty. Those elements of use garyo bhane this gets managed. I hope that answers your question.
Exactly, sir. Thank you, sir.
सर एउटा क्वेसन थियो कि मेरो कन्फ्युजन छ कि एउटा कम्पनी छ होइन, जस्तै मेरै फिल्डमा काम गरिरहेको छ होइन, आइएम स्टार्टअप कम्पनी. उनीहरू अब पहिला पहिला उनीहरूभन्दा राम्रो हाम्रो थियो होइन, अहिले पनि बेटर पोजिसनमा छ, बट सर्टेन एउटा प्रोग्राममा गएर केही प्राइज मनी उनीहरूले जितेर होइन, उनीहरूको ब्रान्डिङ राम्रो भएको छ जस्तो लाग्छ अहिले होइन. सो दे स्टार्टेड टार्गेटिङ आवर क्लाइन्ट्स होइन. सो यस्तो यस्तो कन्डिसनमा मैले आफ्नो पोजिसन कसरी होल्ड गर्न सक्छु सर? वाट्स स्ट्राटेजी सुड आई फलो नाउ?
Okay. That's a problem which each businesses will have. Not that your competitor is going to win prizes all the time, but they will keep your positioning crowded. Remember, हामीले positioning हेरे थियो. So this is what happens in competitive markets. के हुन्छ भने तपाईले एउटा positioning बनाउनु भएछ and now competitor enters and they make your positioning crowded. त्यो केसमा के गर्ने त? त्यो केसमा के गर्ने भने do what Volvo did. You create a new positioning. Either you double down on your positioning and say that maybe the brand is here, I'm here. You still create one more space for you. Or you work on new positioning. You find how Volvo found safety and family. You find one more thing. तपाईको क्लाइन्ट्सलाई आएर प्राइस मात्रै, if it is a price war, then you make your service better. If it is let's say some sort of ambush plan, then you create a positioning that helps you to make this place less crowded. This is why positioning is a continuous work. कोकले अहिले पनि हैन, like every generation को लागि नयाँ नयाँ हाम्रो जमानामा जो ब्रान्ड एम्बेसडर हुन्थ्यो, it has changed, right? Because the audience is evolving, the taste is evolving, so they keep working on positioning. So you keep working on your positioning, competition will come. Either you should have an ability and dynamism to convert it into new positioning, or you double down on your positioning and you take the north corner and give them the south corner. Any other question? Hazur. Rebranding, like more specific.
Just rebranding in totality.
How भन्दा पनि why सोच्नु पर्छ पहिला हैन?
How and why and how?
Why को क्वेशन के हो? Rebranding चाहिँ 3-4 reasons ले हुन सक्छ हैन? One, when company changes its core promise to something new. When company thinks their offering is outdated and needs a fresher look. When company thinks, when the brand thinks that it's time to expand to new markets. And when a brand thinks that it's a time to move to new objectives. यस्तो खालको कुराहरू छ भने rebranding गर्ने कुरा आउँछ. Rebranding गर्दाखेरि what examples we have seen over the years, it has solved some core problem. For example, when Toyota was in 60s, in 70s when it entered US market, they found that people used to take a lot of time to read Toyota from their batch, right? and they had habit of reading brands like Ford, Chevy, easier brand names. So Toyota moved to three rings. Mo- Toyota took a brand framework of German companies where they use symbols rather than the names, and it adopted to three rings and started focusing on that as a positioning, right? Now what happened in early 2000 is when internet age grew and when machine started reading things, when brand became three-dimensional, four-dimensional, five-dimensional. Why four, five-dimensional? Internet is one more dimension and community is another dimension. So they've moved back to Toyota again. If you see the new Range Rovers, not Range, Land Cruisers, they have the full Toyota names. So brand picks this kind of signals and they change they do rebranding. Sometimes when Google decided to be Alphabet, as a core, as a parent company, their objective was to show an umbrella that accommodates more business and let Google be the search engine, right? So objective change हुन्छ या केही core offering मा change हुन्छ भने it's a good time to do rebrand. It answers your question. How भन्दाखेरि you do the same exercises again. Trust me, again you identify each touch point, you figure out what was before, what's now, and how to do the transition.
ओके मेरो क्वेसन चाहिँ कस्टमर पोजिसनिङ ब्रान्ड पोजिसनिङ गरिराख्दाखेरि चाहिँ प्लेस अनुसार डिफ्रेन्ट डिफ्रेन्ट ब्रान्ड पोजिसनिङ गर्न जरुरी हुन्छ हुँदैन अथवा गऱ्यो भने के प्रब्लम आउँछ यसको यो अलिकति इलाबोरेट गर्दा चाहिँ जस्तो हाम्रो वेज चाहिँ काठमाडौँको मार्केटलाई हेऱ्यो भने गुड प्रडक्ट गुड सर्भिस अब हाम्रो लागि त्यो ठाउँमा हामी एकदम त्यो टप राइट कर्नरमै छ होइन तर भ्याली बाहिर गइराख्दाखेरि एकदम प्राइस सेन्ट्रिक मार्केट छ अब त्यही भएर हामीले चाहिँ त्यहाँनिर अलि अफोर्डेबल भनेर डिफ्रेन्ट डिफ्रेन्ट प्याकेजेसहरू ल्याएर पनि काम गरिरहेछौँ अब तर सिमिलर काइन्ड अफ एड्सहरू चाहिँ अब त्यही कुराहरू यहाँको कस्टमरहरूले पनि देख्छ एक्जिस्टिङ कस्टमर अरू कस्टमरले पनि देख्छ नि त सोसियल मिडियामा गइराख्दाखेरि अब ब्रान्ड पोजिसनिङ नै ठाउँ अनुसार चाहिँ फरक तरिकाले आफूलाई पोजिसन गर्नु परिरहेछ कि अब त्यो केसमा अब राइट मुभ राइट स्टेप के हुनसक्छ अरू त्यो गर्न जरुरी हुन्छ हुँदैन नभएपछि फेरि मार्केट सानो भयो
मार्केट अनुसार डाइनामिक हुनु पर्यो बट यु कान्ट लुज योर कोर एलिमेन्ट्स द्याट इज वाइ यसलाई भन्छ ब्रान्ड सेगमेन्टेसन यु क्रिएट सेगमेन्ट्स फर योर ब्रान्ड इन सच अ वे द्याट each of the markets where you are speaking, you are not compromising the value that main brand is giving. So Toyota, we spoke about Toyota, right? Toyota makes Prados. Toyota also makes low-end cars also, right? उसले Corolla पनि बनाउँछ, उसले Prado पनि बनाउँछ, military grade vehicles पनि बनाउँछ हैन, and farmer grade vehicle पनि बनाउँछ. But how they have created a segments, and each segment आफ्नो target audience सँग speak गर्दाखेरि they position those products. So for example, if Toyota is exhibiting in let's say in a auto show, it shows its legendary cars, पुरानो cars किन दिखाउँछ भने it's creating a social proof from there. And if it is participating in an industrial grade, they showed हाइलक्स दिखाउँछ होला त्यहाँ हैन त्यस्तो गाडी सो ब्रान्ड पेरेन्ट ब्रान्ड एउटै हुन्छ बट ब्रान्ड सेगमेन्टेसन बिकम्स एन इम्पोर्टेन्ट पार्ट ब्रान्ड सेगमेन्टेसन गर्दाखेरि यु हेभ टु बी क्लियर अन टु थिङ्स आर यु क्रिएटिङ अ ब्रान्ड एक्सटेन्सन भनेको आइफोन प्रो म्याक्स इज एक्सटेन्सन और यु आर क्रिएटिङ अ सेगमेन्ट एप्पल आइफोन पनि छ एप्पलको आइप्याड पनि छ सो try to figure out, are you creating a segment or you're creating an extension? But different markets, if need is there, you have to create extensions, you have to create segments. And each segment, parent brand should not be impacted by segments. It should have clear differentiations between both segments. For example, SUV र sedan मा जसरी differentiation हुन्छ नि हेर्दाखेरि थाहा हुन्छ this is designed for a family or a businessman, this is designed for an industrial use, military use, or adventure, recreation. So your product should be visibly differentiated in such a way that it doesn't impact each other, and you can play around pricing and service also, quality of service also. You can design accordingly. I hope that answers.
हेलो सर यसमै मेरो एड अन क्वेसन छ जस्तै कि तपाईँले टोयोटाको एक्जाम्पल दिनुभयो नि विच इज अटोमोबाइल्स त्यसमै डिफ्रेन्ट प्रडक्टको कुरा गर्नुभयो नि बट माई क्वेसन इज लाइक प्यारेन्ट कम्पनी छ एन्ड दे हेभ डिफ्रेन्ट पर्टिकल्स लेट्स से एउटा फिन्टेक छ एचआरएस छ पेमेन्ट गेटवे छ होइन अनि त्यसपछि भोइस एजेन्ट छ त्यो कम्पनी छ भने दे आर डिफ्रेन्ट भर्टिकल्स नि राइट अब त्यस्तोलाई चाहिँ ब्रान्ड पोजिसन गर्नु पऱ्यो भने कसरी गर्ने सर
ओके सो ब्रान्ड पोजिसन कसलाई गर्ने हो लाइक पेरेन्ट कम्पनीलाई गर्ने हो भने डिफ्रेन्ट न्यारेटिभ हुन्छ यु गो ब्याक टु अल्फाबेट एन्ड गुगल वाइ अल्फाबेट एक्जिस्ट इज बिकज एज अ होल्डिङ कम्पनी इट्स टेलिङ अ स्टोरी द्याट फ्रम ए टु जी वी हेभ डिफ्रेन्ट बिजनेसेस वर्टिकल्स त्यसको ब्रान्डिङ इज डिफ्रेन्ट बट गुगलको ब्रान्डिङ इज डिफ्रेन्ट एन्ड्रोइडको ब्रान्डिङ इज डिफ्रेन्ट राइट सो यु हेभ टु थिङ्क लाइक द्याट यसको सेगमेन्ट कति ठुलो if the segment is big then you build another brand under the umbrella if segment is not big then you create extensions and if segment is also big extension doesn't also work then you create segments so you have to think where you have to do the branding parent company ko branding garne ho bhane every product has Apple iPhone Apple iPad or you have to brand holding itself त्यो company को then it has to be something like alphabet
मेरो चाहिँ एउटा सानो क्वेसन चाहिँ के छ भने स्टार्टअपहरूले चाहिँ ब्रान्डको केसमा सबैभन्दा कमन मिस्टेक चाहिँ के गरिरहेको हुन्छन् जस्तो लाग्छ हजुरलाई भर्खर अर्ली
okay
थ्याङ्क यू
which I've already mentioned you एकदम important questions which I've already mentioned in today's workshop also. One is chasing perfection. I have a friend उसले 2 वर्षदेखि आफ्नो कम्पनीको वेबसाइट लाइभ गरेको छैन बिकज he is waiting his content to be too perfect. Right? Perfection is a problem. एउटा चाहिँ don't chase perfection. तपाईको बिजनेस पनि प्रोग्रेसिभली इम्प्रुभ हुन्छ तपाईको ब्रान्ड पनि प्रोग्रेसिभली इम्प्रुभ हुन्छ डे 1 मा don't let them tell that don't shy away from telling that we are starting with this table only. We can't afford a showroom right now. It's okay. That honesty or clarity is also important. So don't chase perfection. Another mistake is don't become a Me Too brand. Positioning ma kaam garo apno. Me Too brand na bano. We are Google for Nepal na bano. Nepal has different search need. We become a different search engine for Nepal. So that is another problem. Third is don't chase taglines, don't chase social proofs. That will come by themselves. Chase the problem that you are solving. तपाईले जुन अहिले जुन जर्नी हेर्नुभयो नि just by knowing who is your hero, you ended up at what is the sign of success too. यो जर्नीमा अनेस्ट हुनुहोस् कन्सिस्टेन्ट हुनुहोस् एन्ड डोन्ट ओभर स्पेन्ड अन ब्रान्डिङ अल्सो दे आर लट अफ ओन्ड ब्रान्ड टच पोइन्ट्स फर्स्ट त्यसलाई इम्प्रुभ गर्नुहोस् देन पेड टच पोइन्ट्समा जानुहोस् त्यो चाहिँ मेरो अर्को वेयर आई सी लट अफ पिपल स्पेन्डिङ लट अन एड्स बिफोर देयर प्रडक्ट इज रेडी बिफोर मार्केट इज रेडी दे डु लट अफ पिआर बिफोर दे क्यान वक द टक So, balanced approach, progressive approach is suggested.
सो अघिनको क्वेसन प्लस अरूहरूले गर्नुभएको क्वेसनलाई पनि लिएर एउटा अर्को क्वेसन छ जुन यो मैले पहिला एउटा केस स्टडी पढेको थिएँ यो पाइलट पेन चाहिँ पहिला चाहिँ अलिकति एक्सपेन्सिभ अलि खतरा मान्छेले युज गर्ने एकदम मेरो स्ट्याटसको लागि पनि हुनेवाला भयो बिस्तारै चाइनिज पेनहरू चाहिँ सस्तोमा आउन थालेपछि उनीहरूले पैसा कम गरायो अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि पहिला पाइलट पेन युज गर्ने मान्छेहरूले पनि युज गर्न छोडेर उनीहरूको मार्केट चाहिँ एउटा टाइममा चाहिँ जति इनोभेटिभ भए पनि डाउन भयो भनेर भनिरहेको थियो अनि उनीहरूले चाहिँ सेम प्रडक्टमा अब अलिकति भिजिबली चेन्ज हुने कुरा गर्यो तर पनि उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ उनीहरूको ब्रान्डमा इम्प्याक्ट पर्यो सेकेन्ड कुरा रोलेक्सको प्यारेन्ट कम्पनीले पनि अर्को यो ट्युडर के वाचहरू बनाउँछ सस्तोवाला होइन अब त्यो गरिराख्दाखेरि उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ भिजिबली देख्ने कुरा नै छ त्यहाँ ब्रान्ड नेम पनि फरक छ त्यो पनि ठिक छ अम्ब्रेला कम्पनी एउटा छ उसको अन्डरमा मल्टिपल कम्पनी छ तर सफ्टवेयर बेस्ड प्रडक्टहरूमा अब त्यो लाइट प्रो मात्रै भनेर चाहिँ झन् त्यो सिग्निफिकेन्टली त्यो ब्रान्ड चाहिँ छुट्टिन चाहिँ गाह्रो छ नि त अब यस्तो केसमा सर्भिस इन्डस्ट्रीमा र जुन मेन चाहिँ सफ्टवेयरमा फोकस भएर हेरिराख्दा कसरी चाहिँ ब्रान्ड पोजिसनिङ डिफ्रेन्ट तरिकाले गर्न सकिन्छ
सो यसको एन्सर इज इन योर क्वेसन ओन्ली राइट सर्भिस इन्डस्ट्री छ भने द डिफ्रेन्सिएट एउटा चाहिँ लाइट प्रो आई अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड इट्स कन्फ्युजिङ फर लट अफ यर मार्केट बट एउटा डिकॉय इफेक्ट चाहिँ क्रिएट गर्न मिल्छ क्या डिकॉय इफेक्ट भनेको के हुन्छ भने इफ यु गो टु मैकडोनल्ड्स और KFC they have something called medium fries which no one orders medium fries भनेको के हुन्छ भने when you are about to order medium fries they will say do you know you can just add ₹20 and you get large fries right so in this case if you have multiple products place the products in middle as decoy effect and try to give some kind of comparative value to your customer by showing that what is the value of upgrades because your highest upgrade is always your biggest brand so iPhone को सबै ad मा Pro Max को मात्रै photo हुन्छ क्या mini को photo हुँदैन क्या your highest upgrade is always the thing so Rolex को ad मा you will see more Rolex ad than Pilot को जुन example दिनु भयो ना Pilot pen मा के भयो भने they didn't work on their position they stayed they didn't communicated with their existing customer base they didn't create market for the new customer base also so for example my father still believes Sony makes the best television right I can't convince him ki maybe Samsung is a better television manufacturer now. Because he has Sony had created loyalty in his era in such a way that it still is a very important perception for him that so but Sony didn't evolve with time Sony didn't do what Coke is doing for every generation Coke is convincing to every new generation that we are the most fun beverage to have we are the most refreshing beverage to have sometimes brand stopped doing it. So this is what Pilot stopped doing. Maybe Pilot didn't approach to us like how they approached our parents, right? And still our parents still uses Pilot with pride and we think of it as more of a utility, right? So you need to keep working on your positioning. It's not one-time job. It's work in progress, always in work in progress. And that is what branding is. It's constantly work in progress. I think so. This looks like end of Q&A. One last question.
So you said that don't chase the perfection. So by the perfection, do you mean if I have software that have listed 10 features, so I should not go with all the 10 features initially, or should I go with the 10 features? Does that include your what you are trying to say in perfectionism, or should you mean कि त्यो 10 features चाहिँ लिएर आउने, but त्यहाँ चाहिँ perfectionism नखोज्ने, error box छ भने त्यसले सुधार्दै जाने, तर लिएर चाहिँ आउने.
मैले भनेको कुरा मोर ब्रान्डिङ पर्सपेक्टिभले भनेको थियो हैन प्रोडक्ट डेभलपमेन्ट भन्दा पनि मोर ब्रान्डिङ पर्सपेक्टिभले गरेको थियो बट आई विल गिभ यु वन एक्जाम्पल इमेजिन यु आर इन अ डार्क टनल इट्स भेरी डार्क पिंच ब्ल्याक राइट एन्ड यु सॉ अ बीम अफ लाइट एन्ड यु स्टार्ट चेसिङ द्याट बीम अफ लाइट यु आर वॉकिङ टुवर्ड्स इट राइट इट्स गेटिङ ब्राइटर each step towards the light is making lighter. And you think you are very close to sun. You keep walking. You are now also outside the tunnel. It's very bright now. But as you're walking down, you're still getting brighter. It's getting brighter, getting brighter. But still you are far from sun. That sun is perfection. Each step ले brighter बनाउनु पर्यो हाम्रो ब्रान्डलाई हाम्रो बिजनेसलाई हैन. But if you think that if you only see the sun, only if you touch the sun, you are successful, then that might not be the right approach towards brand management. Is the sun, it's perpetually there. Kya? Keep chasing it. Every step, you walk towards it. Don't take a step back. When you look back, you see, oh my God, I've come so far away. And I'm living in such a bright land. And you forget that you started from a darkest part of the tunnel. And this is how branding works. You keep walking towards the sun. And we will never touch sun. That is perfection. Don't touch it, but keep walking towards it. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Avinash sir, I have a question. And I'm damn sure you have watched this movie. And the movie name is Lagan. Have you watched? Okay. So today I felt like this is movie Lagan, wherein you as Amir Khan, our mentor, you have identified our problems. Like each one of us here, we want to build a brand. Like in the movie, he had a problem. Sabbaiलाई लगान तिर्नु परेको थियो. But we didn't know how to like make the villagers hero. That's what Amir Khanले त्यही गर्नु भएको थियो नि हैन. Villagersहरुलाई सबैलाई okay, this is my mission. I am the hero. I can change my story भन्ने feel गराएर. And that's what today Avinash sir made us. At least I felt like a hero. I can do something. So now it's your turn, guys. You go out there, identify your hero, and make them feel like they are the hero of your company. So that was such an awakening session, I would say. A big, big, big round of applause for our trainer.